over the Riverside Chargers. Now it's time that we turn our attention to Class D-1 as we get ready for a matchup of two undefeated teams from Memorial Stadium, the Sandy Creek Cougars and the Stanton Mustangs. Good afternoon, everyone. Nick Sander back with you from Memorial Stadium, a sunny Memorial Stadium, but cold Memorial Stadium. We'll bring in Chancellor Brewington in just a moment, but as I mentioned, it's a matchup of two undefeated squads, Sandy Creek and the Stanton Mustangs, two schools that are just a little under 2 hours away from Memorial Stadium here. Let's first talk about the Sandy Creek Cougars, 12-0 on the year. They've had some really high offensive outputs this season, 60 points multiple times. They even scored 71 back in week 3 against Alma, a dominating win, 71-14 over Alma. They beat Sandhills Valley later in the season, just 3 weeks ago, 76-12. And so some wider margins for the folks out at Sandy Creek, but Stanton is looking at their side and saying, we've done the same exact thing. For Sandy Creek, we're going to talk a lot about their quarterback, Ethan Shaw. He wears number 2. He's done a lot through the air, 96 of 152 passing for 1,923 yards, 34 touchdowns on the season to just one INT here in 2024, but he does a lot of damage running the football as well. Similar to what we saw in the first game, he's carried it 168 times this season for 1,510 rushing yards, and he scored 28 rushing touchdowns. For the Stanton Mustangs, once again, their quarterback, similar story, just maybe not to the scale passing-wise, but does a little bit more rushing the football. Quarterback, that is Barrett Wilkie, that we'll be discussing, 38 of 65, just 65 pass attempts on the season for 748 yards and 7 touchdown passes. However, running the football, Barrett Wilkie, 268 keepers for 2,600 yards and 36 rushing touchdowns. Also a guy to watch in the backfield is number 1, Becker Pullman, 176 carries to his name for 1,400 rushing yards and 30 touchdowns. So you're talking about just between Barrett Wilkie and Becker Pullman for the Stanton Mustangs, 66 rushing touchdowns combined for number 1 and number 4 on Stanton. It's going to be a good one. The Stanton Mustangs won the title in 2023. They try to defend it and go back-to-back while Sandy Creek looks for their first state championship in school history. Chancellor Brewington will join me when we come back as kickoff is right around the corner in the Class D1 state championship game from Memorial Stadium at Sandy Creek and the Stanton Mustangs right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Memorial Stadium. Nick Sainert, Chancellor Brewington, ahead of the Class D1 state championship game between the Sandy Creek Cougars and the Stanton Mustangs. It's going to be about 38 degrees at kickoff today as the early morning game, Chancellor. We saw Central Valley, dominate Riverside 52-12. For a while there, it looked like they could put up the century mark, but then they kind of, I wouldn't say eased off the gas. The running clock happened, and ultimately they didn't get close. But for the most part, Central Valley dominated that one.
Yeah, Central Valley did a great job. They were able to run the football, defensive stands, got the turnovers, was just a really dominant performance to start the day off. So I'm excited to see what Sandy Creek and Stanton can do today. Yeah,
you're absolutely right? Because Sandy Creek, we talked about it just a moment ago. Ethan Shaw, 1,500 rushing yards on the season, over 1,900 passing yards, while for Stanton, their quarterback, and that's Barrett Wilkie, a lot more rushing yards than passing yards. This might be a game where you don't necessarily count possessions, but you value them a little bit more because you know that Stanton, if they do what they like to do, and that's value the football, they don't turn it over a whole lot, but for the most part, long, sustainable drives. If you're Sandy Creek, you're not going to get the football a whole lot because Stanton will run the football, take some time off the clock, and they can, start continuously just wear you down.
Yeah, time possession is going to be a huge factor in this game. Making sure you have efficient drives, and when you have an opportunity, when you get in the red zone to score, make sure you punch that thing in.
Yeah, 100%. So once again, it will be the Stanton Mustangs, if you're just now joining us, and the Sandy Creek Cougars. Want to thank our friends over at NextAg Appraisal and Real Estate for being the exclusive title sponsor of all high school sports. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Visit nextagrealestate.com to learn how their firsthand experience can help you in valuing, managing, and selling your property. I appreciate all the other sponsors that you heard in the open there as well for their support and contribution to high school coverage on the ticket, as these are our final 2 days of football coverage. And then we quickly make a hard 90-degree turn into basketball season this winter, as all that will then finish up at the Pinnacle Bank Arena for the state championships in the early weeks of March. But for now, we got to crown a D1 state champion, and it's either the Stanton Mustangs or the Sandy Creek Cougars. One of these teams will lose for the first time on the season as well today, as both of these teams come in 12-0, perfect unblemished record. Mentioned it just a couple of minutes ago. Sandy Creek has some more aggressive and larger point totals, while Stanton has won some games scoring a lot of points, but they've also given up their fair share. And so we'll see which one can prevail here this afternoon. The Shadows are covering about a quarter of the field. Remember, this is 8-man football, and so we have an 80-yard field that we're working with. So they're going to kick off from the 30, which on the Memorial Stadium, according to that paint, it says the 40-yard line, but quickly they kick it out of bounds. And so we are going to see the Stanton Mustangs on offense first. And so Sandy Creek was able to win the toss. They elected to defer, and that means that we will see the Stanton offense on the field first and foremost. And they're led by quarterback Barrett Wilkie. As I mentioned, 2,600 rushing yards, 36 rushing touchdowns on the season. Becker Pullman, number one in the backfield with him, over 1,400 yards rushing and 30 touchdowns scored. So they've found their end zone 66 times combined just by those two Stanton Mustang players. And both seniors. Becker Pullman, the running back, listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds, and he gets the toss out to the right side on the first play. Has a hole across midfield. There he goes, tiptoeing the sideline, and finally gets pushed out of bounds by number 2, Ethan Shaw of Sandy Creek, who plays defensive back in addition to quarterback for the Sandy Creek Cougars. But not until Becker Pullman does what he does best and gets a first down for the Stanton Mustangs.
This is kind of what we saw Central Valley do, get the edges. With 8-man football, attacking these edges is probably your most efficient and most effective way to run the football.
So Stanton will line up under center, and that is obviously Barrett Wilkie under center, the quarterback. He motions a guy from right to left along the line. He turns to the left. It looks like a similar play. They toss it out left side. Here's Pullman once again, but a much more shorter gain of about 3 yards up to the 30-yard line of Sandy Creek. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Just underway here in the Class D1 title game. Ball will be placed on the 30-yard line with 11:35 to go in the first quarter. And you mentioned it, right? So with 8 men, there's a lot more space out there. Sure, the field, in addition to it just being 80 yards long, is also a little bit not as wide, I should be saying, a little more narrow, as the temporary out-of-bounds lines that they'll remove after this game in preparation for the Class A game tonight are just on the outside parts of the numbers. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. They did it from underneath underneath the center. And he gets,
keeper.
Yeah,
Okay.
gets forward for about 4 yards, brings up 3rd down and 3 from the 26.
On 2nd and 7.
They
8-man
have
football for you.
confidence.
Come on, I love it.
So now 3rd down and 3. Ball's on the 26-yard line, 10:52 and counting going in the first quarter here. Stanton in no hurry offensively, and once again, how much they value possessions and they have sustainable drives, just continuously wearing down defenses here early on. Quarterback keeper on a little spin, and he goes nowhere. Great job defensively by the Sandy Creek Cougars. That looked like potentially number 88, Jack Clark, the senior defensive end, was in on the stop. Big Jack Clark, 6'5", 215 pounds, in on the stop for Sandy Creek defensively, and that brings up a big 4th down and 4, maybe 4th and 3, coming up from the 26-yard line for the Stanton offense.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see which playmaker to go to on 4th and 3. This is a big down. This will be I would say a good indicator what they want to do moving forward.
Yeah, Stanton on the season, only 65 pass attempts as a team. Barrett Wilkie, 38 of 65 on the season. He turns, looking to pass. Wilkie will throw it down, take a shot, has a man on a wheel route, touchdown! The Stanton Mustangs strike first on a touchdown pass. Barrett Wilkie, that's his 8th touchdown pass of the season. And on 4th and 3, the Stanton Mustangs get on the board with 9:46 to go in the first quarter.
That's amazing. I mean, they do a heavy play action, 4th and 3. I'm sure Sandy Creek was expecting a run right there. They motion him out. They runs a wheel route. Great throw by the quarterback right there.
It was a great throw by Barrett Wilkie. The receiver on the play was Becker Pullman. That is Pullman. While he does a lot of his damage running the football, that's his 5th receiving touchdown of the season. Now looked like a potential for a double pass from Pullman on the toss as they tried to attempt the 2-point conversion. It gets snuffed out, and he gets taken down in the backfield, so the 2-point conversion is no good. 9:46 on the game clock, 6-0. The Stanton Mustangs lead the Sandy Creek Cougars by 6 points with just 9:46 to go in the first quarter. All right, Chancellor, so what did you see there? What did Stanton do really, really well, right? They frankly, I mean, they ran the ball continuously, and then when they needed to pass it, Barrett Wilkie was able to throw.
Yeah, it was exactly like you said. Super tight formations. I haven't seen a receiver split out wide yet, but they sucked the defense down with the heavy run stuff. We saw a quarterback keeper, the push-tush on 2nd and 7, but great execution there on 4th and 3. When we talked about earlier, making shots when you need them, that was a particular play right there where we need to punch that in if you take that shot.
I mean, frankly, guys stepping up, making a play when you need them to make a play, and that's what number 1 Barrett Wilkie did, and number 2, that's what Becker Pullman did on the receiving end of it, because we saw in our first game of the day, obviously a little bit bigger stadium. Is there a depth perception piece that you have to keep in mind when catching a football in this stadium?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with the 80 yards, with the smaller field, like you have to be real aware, and you can't get tricked where the numbers are. You have to make sure you know where your feet are and be disciplined there.
That's a good point, because obviously at Stanton High School, Sandy Creek High School, their football fields are configured for 8-man football, right? Where Memorial Stadium, they got to make it temporary, so it might be a little deceiving when you're running down the sideline. So once again, 9:46 to play in the first quarter. Stanton leads 6-0 over the Sandy Creek Cougars. Both these teams 12-0. If you're just now joining us, Stanton on 4th and 3 completed a pass from Barrett Wilkie to Becker Pullman, completed a 5-play, 55-yard drive. It took 2 minutes and 14 seconds off of the game clock, and they got 6 points out of it, but the 2-point conversion attempt was no good. So Stanton will kick things off. And here in just a few moments, we will see the Sandy Creek offense led by quarterback Ethan Shaw as soon as we're ready to kick things off here and resume play from Memorial Stadium. While we do have a moment, Let's talk about Jimmy John's sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the Jimmy John's app today. All right, so ball's on the tee. We're ready to get going here, and it'll be a low squib kick fielded by the up man at the 15-yard line for Sandy Creek, and he immediately gets taken down after he lunges forward across the 20-yard line down at the 21-yard line. So once again, Ethan Shaw, number 2 in black for Sandy Creek, the Sandy Creek Cougars. Ethan Shaw, 6'2", 190-pound quarterback on the year, 1,500 yards rushing, 28 touchdowns on the ground, but through the air, 96 of 152 passing for 1,900 yards, 34 touchdowns, and maybe most importantly, Chancellor, just 1 INT. So now Sandy Creek will come out in the shotgun. They'll motion a receiver from the far side into the near side, and he'll be lined up just on the right side of that offensive line. One running back to the right of Shaw, who rolls out to his right now after the snap on first down. He'll keep it himself, is able to make one guy miss, and then just kind of ducks out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. Good gain on first down, though, for the quarterback.
Yeah, it looks like a dynamic runner. One thing I noticed already, they want to get to throwing the ball. They want to get to throwing the ball, and this is kind of probably going to be two different offenses on either side of the ball. Yeah,
certainly a contrast in offenses where Stanton maybe is going to lean on the run other than when they dire need it, but where for Sandy Creek might air it out a little bit here as they are going into a light breeze blowing around 6.5 miles per hour here at Memorial Stadium towards the south end zone. Sandy Creek working towards the north end zone here at Memorial Stadium. Quarterback keeper out of the shotgun. He bounces out left side. Now jukes a defender, is able to break out of a shoestring tackle, and then is able to just kind of lunge his way forward across the 35-yard line of Sandy Creek. Good for a first down as he's marked down at the 36.
Yeah, great run right there. They shift in, getting the defense to shift as well. I love the adjustments that this offense is doing.
Brings up first down and 10. Ball is on the 36-yard line of Sandy Creek. Stanton leads 6-0. However, this is Sandy Creek's first crack at it on offense. As they break the huddle, 2 wideouts to the far side, one running back lined up about 2 yards behind the quarterback, Ethan Shaw. Guy to certainly watch for Sandy Creek on the perimeter as they toss it out right side. Here's number 1, Connor Rempe. Rempe dives forward. On the season, Rempe with almost 300 yards. He just eclipsed 300 yards with that carry. 8 rushing touchdowns on the campaign. That brings up second down and 5 after the 5-yard gain on first down. So ball will be at the 39-yard line of the Stanton Mustangs as they cross midfield. Break the huddle, shotgun set. 1 running back, and it looks like that might be Cameron Seeley to the right of him. They turn, quarterback keeper, here is Shaw once again. Tries to dive forward, cuts up field, and has to lower his left shoulder, barrel over a couple of defenders, and gets maybe a gain of 2.
Big third down right here. Big third down. Third and short. Interested to see what they get to.
So third down and 3. You also wonder 4-down territory, what's in the mind right now for head coach of Sandy Creek, Andrew Kuda? What's in the mind here? Do you try to get – are you drawing something up maybe a little more conservative as it's a tight formation? Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Shaw just keep it himself here with the base the way they lined up, and that's exactly what he does. He cuts up the middle, and he's going to be right at the sticks. We'll see what one official says first down. The other one is a little closer to it being about a yard away, and they're going to say that the near side official has the correct spot. So they're going to mark him about a half a yard shy of that first down marker. So it brings up fourth down and not a full 1 yard. So 4th and inches with 7.5 to go in the first quarter. The ball is on the 35-yard line. They need to get to around the 34.5-yard line or so as Sandy Creek still in the huddle, and now they'll break it. 2 wideouts on the perimeter. 3 down linemen. Now they'll move a 4th in as a tight end as the running back's off to the left side. And before we have a snap on 4th down, it looks like Andrew Kuda, the head coach for Sandy Creek, wants to talk things over. All right, we'll step aside as well. We'll be right back in 30 seconds plus a station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander, Chancellor Brewington back with you from Memorial Stadium ahead of the 4th and 1 opportunity for Sandy Creek. Ball is placed on the Stanton 35-yard line. Stanton leads 6-0 after they were able to convert and score a 26-yard touchdown pitch and catch between Barrett Wilkie and Becker Pullman on the opening drive of the game. This is Sandy Creek's first drive offensively, and they have a 4th and inches coming up from the 35-yard line down to the Sandy Creek timeout. They'll come out shotgun set, one running back off to the right side, one receiver at the bottom. And that looks to be Caden Schmidt at the bottom, who has 2 catches for 25 yards on the season. Now, scratch that, though. Motion Connor Rempe from left to right. And quarterback keeper here on 4th down. Shaw is able to dive forward and get the first down. He got about 3.5 yards or so on that 4th down play, and it moves the chains, keeps the drive alive for Sandy Creek.
Yeah, that's 2 key plays, a big 3rd down, a big 4th down, and they went with Shaw on both of them. So that's a big indicator in the run game. They want to get some things going with the quarterback.
Also who they trust, right?
Yeah.
Ethan Shaw has been, his number's been dialed every single time that they needed a big play. And on that 4th down, was able to convert it. So 1st and 10 from the Stanton 32-yard line. 6:45, just under halfway to go in this first quarter. Empty shotgun set. Shaw back to pass. Looking, throws downfield, up the middle, caught, touchdown, Sandy Creek. They answer on a 32-yard pitch and catch from the right arm of Ethan Shaw, and we're all knotted up at 6 points apiece.
Yeah, it seemed like a little 3 verticals. Number 2 beat him deep. Great ball right there by Shaw.
Number 2, Ethan Shaw, great pitch and catch there as they were able to find Cameron Seeley. Seeley on the season, that is his 11th receiving touchdown, and we're all tied up at 6 points apiece with the 2-point conversion attempt looming for Sandy Creek as they'll have Rempe out on the far side, one running back in the backfield with Shaw. They will fake the handoff, looking, throw into the end zone, intended for Rempe, is through his hands, and it falls incomplete. 6:36 to go in the first quarter. We're all tied up at 6 points apiece. After Stanton scores, Sandy Creek is able to answer with a touchdown of their own, 32-yard pass from Ethan Shaw to Cameron Seeley for the score. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander, Chancellor Brewington back with you from Memorial Stadium. Halfway through the first quarter of action, we have a touchdown apiece on the board between Sandy Creek and Stanton. We're all tied up at 6 points apiece after both sides were unable to convert and successfully get the 2-point conversion attempt. And so we're all tied up at 6. It's a short kickoff fielded at the 15-yard line by Stanton and brought out to around the 25-yard line or so. And that is where Stanton will set up shop, 1st and 10, after on the first possession of the game, a team that doesn't throw it a whole lot. They found Barrett Wilkie, found Becker Pullman on a wheel route up the far sideline for a touchdown. And so we'll see if they really lean into the ground game here on their second drive of the game. Remember, in that first game, Riverside in Class D2 had 5 turnovers. Not a recipe for success here, as we have a tight formation. Under center is the quarterback. He turns, fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper up the middle. I think it looked like somewhat of a botched play or a slowly developing play. You might have a better read on that, Chancellor. But for the time being, it's still a first down as it all worked out. And Barrett Wilkie was able to make something happen with his legs.
Yeah, definitely some type of misdirection. They motion a guy. Seems like you got 2 guys pulling. I think it was a really good job by the quarterback staying patient on that, letting the hole develop, and hitting it full speed.
Yeah, so that makes it first down and 10 now from the 39-yard line. Stanton will line up under center. The rule in 8-man, just for clarity, is you have to have 3 down linemen, but then you can also, as they're doing it here, have a couple of extra. 1 on each side are the Mustangs as they roll the quarterback from under center, similar to what we see Navy or Army do, or Air Force in a triple option type of offense. Good for a gain of 8 yards, makes it second down and 2.
Yeah, when the quarterback opens up to the right, usually traditionally he's handing the ball off to the right. Then he fakes that, obviously, and spins over to the left. Just causes a little bit confusion for the second level for the defense and linebackers and secondary specifically.
Brings up second down and 2. Ball is on the 33-yard line. 6-6 is your score between Stanton and Sandy Creek here in Class D1 action. Tight set. They'll toss it left side. Becker Pullman trying to get some open area, unable to do so. A great tackle made on the play by Ethan Shaw. Defensively, Ethan Shaw, that is his 89th tackle of the season. A great job by the Sandy Creek defense to get Pullman down for a loss of a couple. That makes it 3rd and 6 coming up from the Sandy Creek 37-yard line.
Yeah, this is not the position that Stan wants to be in. They want to be in 3rd and short situations, 4th and short. So expecting probably some type of misdirection with the quarterback, maybe a play action fake here.
Same formation under center. They motion a guy from left to right. Now back to pass. Here's Wilkie. Wilkie looking. He's going to run. He'll have a lot of open turf as he just retreats out of bounds past the first down marker. He needed 6 yards on the play and got about 10 up to the 27-yard line. Maybe they're going to mark it at the 26. And so a nice gain on 3rd down and long makes it 1st and 10 for the Stanton Mustangs offense.
Yeah, great job right there executing. Guys covered downfield, just use your legs. Use your legs.
And that was different between what we saw earlier where it was quick panic, get out of the pocket because I don't feel comfortable, other than disciplined, right call, right read, trusting your legs.
Yeah, trust your legs. Guys covered downfield. I mean, running with your legs is sometimes the best outlet. We see another quarterback sneak right there on 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, it brings up 2nd down and 7 after the gain of 3 on 1st down. Barrett Wilkie, that rush on 3rd down went for 11 yards. And then on back-to-back plays, ran it again, that time for a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd down and 7. The ball on the Sandy Creek 23-yard line. 4:01 to play in the opening quarter here in the Class D1 state championship game. Nick Sainert, Chancellor Brewington with you from Memorial Stadium. 38 degrees here down here in downtown Lincoln as they roll left side. Here's the quarterback. Once again, Wilkie, as he barrels over a couple of defenders. Good for another 1st down. And Stanton moving the ball on offense pretty successfully here, barring that one tackle for loss that they allowed to Becker or to Pullman a couple of minutes ago. But right now, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line.
Yeah, good job sealing the edge right there, allowing Wilkie to get that edge and hit that corner.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line as Stanton trying to find that south end zone here at Memorial Stadium for the 2nd time today. They turn, hand it off on an end around, trying to get to the edge. Here's Pullman, dragged down from behind by number 7 for Sandy Creek, and that is number 7, Alston Clark. That's his 95th tackle on the season. But Becker Pullman was able to get a gain of 5 yards on the play, brings up 2nd down and 5.
I know it's only a 5-yard game, but you get the defense moving. You get a guy in motion. Now the defense will be second-guessing every time a guy comes in motion.
Has to honor it.
Yep.
Has to honor it. 2nd down and 5. Under center, here is Barrett Wilkie. Wilkie just threw his 8th touchdown on the first drive of the game. They run him on the right side. He's able to somehow, some way spin out of a tackle, get positive yardage for about 3 yards or so. We'll make it 3rd down and 2. It looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and then somehow, not sure, he got out of the tackle. He spun out of it and was able to net a couple of yards.
Yeah, Wilkie, a physical runner. Looked like he had lower pads than the defender. Was running his feet. I love it.
Barrett Wilkie, 6 foot, 210-pound quarterback. Showed every ounce of his strength there. Brings up 3rd down and 2. This is manageable here as they line up with the fullback, turn direct snap to the fullback. As they ran a receiver in motion, acted like Wilkie was going to give it either a jet sweep to him or keep it himself, but instead it was a direct snap to the fullback, and he just barreled his way forward across that 1st down marker, and it's 1st and goal from the 3.
Yeah, Wilkie and Pullman look like, as of right now, are taking the full load of this offense. Only 2 guys with the ball this far.
Yeah, that was Becker Pullman with the carry. 4-yard carry on 3rd down and 2 makes it 1st and goal from the 3. 1:42 to go in the first quarter. Under center, here's Wilkie. They'll motion a man from right to left. Wilkie will keep it himself, trying to get to the edge, lunges forward, and he is in. Touchdown for the Stanton Mustangs offense as Barrett Wilkie able to scamper to the left side from 3 yards out, and the Mustangs now lead at 12-6.
Great job. I mean, we talked about the motion earlier. The defense has to honor it. We already seen them go with the jet sweep there. Then they do the quarterback keeper off of it. Great call by Stan.
We mentioned sustainable drives, value possessions. That was a 10-play, 55-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock in favor of the Stanton Mustangs. So now the 2-point conversion attempt under center. They'll turn, hand it off on the end around Pullman, trying to get to the edge. He does. And so finally, 3rd time's the charm in the game for either side, as the Stanton Mustangs able to convert on the 2-point conversion attempt. And with 1:29 to go in the first quarter, the Stanton Mustangs lead the Sandy Creek Cougars 14-6 here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let us know on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. We were talking to Rico back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios on if he had 10 carries, if he was given 10 carries in this game, how many yards he would be getting. He put the over-under at, we'll just say 199.5. He said 200 yards. There is not a chance.
No way.
There is not a chance. Maybe he just meant to 2.00 yards per carry.
Yeah, maybe he went 20 yards.
Maybe he meant 20 yards total.
Yeah, maybe 20 yards.
Yeah.
A hamstring might get pulled.
Let us know what you think Rico would average if he was given 10 yards in a game in a Class D1 action. This is an onside kick attempt, and it's recovered by Stanton.
Wow.
As it's a shocker, a surprise onside kick. We saw it earlier as well between Riverside after they scored. Riverside was able to go 2 for 2 on onside kicks. This time, Stanton here late stages of the first quarter, they shock the Sandy Creek kick coverage team. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Sandy Creek kick coverage team as they get an onside kick and Stanton recovers, so they will take over. 1st and 10 from the Sandy Creek Cougars, 36-yard line.
Yeah, these type of games are all about momentum. And the shifts there, you get your sideline involved, get your fans involved. When momentum is high, right now, got to capitalize if you're Stanton.
So now Stanton, led by quarterback Barrett Wilkie, will come back out onto the field. They turn, keep it with the quarterback as he gets hit hard and driven backwards. nice physical tackle there. It was kind of just a cluster that Wilkie ran into the middle of, never really got going, and then coming from the side was the defender and knocked him back for a loss of a couple.
Yeah, they pulled their guard and a tight end. It seemed like there was some type of penetration front side that caused some type of blockade to happen.
Brings up 2nd down and 13 after the 3-yard loss on the play. Stanton has now had the ball continuing over from the previous drive for over 6 minutes of game clock. As they take the shotgun snap, quarterback keeper, option toss out to the right side, and a great job covering in pursuit by Sandy Creek. That is number 12 for Sandy Creek, Wesley Biltoft, who is in on the stop. No gain on the play, and that brings up 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, if you're Stanton, you got to get to something intermediate, because this would be would you call this punt territory right here?
With the way you're able to run the ball to this point, I think if you're able to get half of this, I think you would absolutely try to continue to carry the momentum in 4-down territory. As here on 3rd down and 13, ball is on the 39-yard line, basically at midfield of this 80-yard field. Back to pass. Here's Wilkie across the middle, pass way over the head of the intended receiver, Becker Pullman. He had some running room as they threw. It was just a simple in route across the middle, as it was near that 1st down marker, line to gain, and it was just a poorly thrown ball by Barrett Wilkie. So now it's decision time, 4th and 13.
Yeah, it seems like they want to go for it right now.
And a lot of times what we'll see from some of these lower levels as well is the quarterback doubles as the punter. And so sometimes we'll see it to where if Sandy Creek doesn't put anybody back and it's simply a numbers game, then, yeah, they'll go ahead and punt it away and try to pin them deep. However, if they do put somebody back, then they'll have the conversation about potentially going for it from a sheer number standpoint. However, they want some extra time to talk things over. 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Stanton calls their first timeout of the half. So once again, just to remind you, just to give you a refresher earlier in the morning game, the one that kicked off around 10:15 a.m., Central Valley dominated Riverside 52-12 to win their first ever Class D2 state championship game. Now here in Class D1 action, Stanton leads 14-6 over Sandy Creek. Later on tonight at 7:15 p.m., we will have the Class A state championship game between the Omaha West Side Warriors and the Millard South Patriots. And so a lot of talent, obviously, a lot of Division I talent on that field will be on showcase later on this evening. 7:15 kickoff, 7 o'clock pregame coverage here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, out of the Stanton timeout, it'll be 4th down and 13. The ball is placed on the Sandy Creek 39-yard line, but essentially on this 80-yard field, 40 yards is midfield, so you're basically at midfield here, and we'll see what the Stanton Mustangs offense wants to do. It looks like they're going to line up to go for it here. And remember, they scored their first touchdown of the game on a 26-yard pass from Wilkie to Pullman. So they have the ability to air it out as they run a guy on a wheel. They throw it to the guy on the wheel route as there will be a penalty flag. They're going to bail out the Mustangs offense with a penalty flag. They're going to say that Connor Rempe was interfering with the intended receiver on the play. I believe that was number 22, Austin Clausen. Clausen ran in motion, similar to what we saw from on the touchdown play, Chancellor, ran on the wheel route. They also sent Pullman up the middle. They tried to get it on the wheel and unable to haul it in, but a penalty marker.
Yeah, good way to be aggressive right there. Seems like Stan's not afraid to throw the ball right now.
So it's going to be a pass interference on the Sandy Creek defense, which will automatically make it a 1st down. And so on 4th and 13, Stanton is able to get a penalty marker and make it 1st and 10 from now the 24-yard line after the 15-yard pass interference penalty. So Stanton with 33 seconds on the game clock, quarterback keeper on 1st and 10, continuing to lower the shoulder forward. He gets a gain of 4 yards up to the 21-yard line. And you saw it once again. He almost was able to get out of that pile that was just kind of in there. He barreled his way forward, but then was still on his feet, was the quarterback Wilkie. And it looked like he was going to have a chance to break it if he kicked it outside, but unfortunately got taken down from behind.
Yeah, he big, strong kid. You can tell. 11 rushing attempts already.
Mm-hmm. So once again for Stanton, as we end the first quarter here, the Mustangs, they lead it 14-6 after 12 minutes of game time. The shadows are creeping over halfway of Memorial Stadium's turf here. The N is almost completely covered of shadows here at Memorial Stadium. We enter the second quarter of play in 60 seconds with Stanton leading 14-6. They have the ball just inside the red zone when we come back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Conditions are getting more favorable for either side here as temperatures have increased by 1. It's now 39 degrees. Wind has decreased by about a couple miles per hour. They're now sitting about 6.5 mile per hour winds. The big flags that are anchored on each side of the scoreboard softly blowing towards the south end zone. Stanton will now be going towards the north end zone while Sandy Creek will defend that way. It's 14-6 as we start the second quarter here at Memorial Stadium. Nick Sainert, Chancellor Brewington with you. It will be 2nd down and 6 coming up in just a couple of moments from the 20-yard line of Sandy Creek.
Opportunity right here to go up 2 scores.
As it looks like initially they might line up in shotgun. They'll have a fullback or a guy lined up, and it's Pullman. They do the same play once again. He's able to spin out of 2 tacklers, still on his feet, and then falls down inside the 10. They ran that play earlier in the game that Pullman actually got kind of stuffed on a 1st and goal opportunity, but that time it was just a direct snap, essentially to a guy that's like lined up as a fullback, and he takes it forward for a nice gain of 13 yards up to the 7.
Yeah, that direct snap is another element that this defense for Sandy Creek has to be alert for because it's causing some problems. 1st
and goal coming up just underway in the second quarter. 14-6 Stanton. They're on the doorstep. Quarterback keeper Wilkie keeping it himself. Lunges, dives, reaches, and they'll mark him a yard short. It's a 6-yard gain, bringing up 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, I would expect the old tush push right here or some type of quarterback sneak.
There's no reason to run outside, right? Yeah. Like we've talked about, the edges are maybe somewhat of a weak spot for some of these defenses, but the push that you're getting up front, if you're Stanton right now, there's no reason to overcomplicate things. As under center, Barrett Wilkie. On 2nd down and goal, they motion a guy from right to left. He turns, dives up forward, and he walks in untouched. Touchdown, Stanton Mustangs. It's now a 2-touchdown lead. As with 10:56 to go in the first half, the Mustangs lead Sandy Creek 20-6.
Yeah, Stan's been doing a good job of getting creative on the offensive end. A lot of different looks with the quarterback, with Pullman, with Clausen, and the occasional play action pass that got that PI call that got him in this position.
So 2-point conversion attempt on the doorstep here. And you want to talk about eating some game clock. I'll mention and finish up that thought in just a moment as the 2-point conversion attempt is no good. They tried to rush it on the left side with Pullman. He was trying to say that he lunged over the pylon, but the sideline official says, no, you did not, and he calls it no good. So 10:56 to go in the second quarter. It's 20-6 Stanton. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. What I was going to mention, is that drive after that surprise onside kick took 5 plays, 55 yards, and 2 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock. You combine that with their previous drive, and you're looking at 15 plays for 110 total yards, 7 minutes and 17 seconds of game time off the clock. This Sandy Creek offense has been on the sideline for a long, long time.
Yeah, and we talk about momentum. Guys get cold, and you can feel the shift. And this is an opportunity for Sandy Creek to capitalize and possibly score quick right here.
Learn how to help empower a student today by the power of mentoring with teammates. Apply today at teammates.org. All right, so Stanton, after another touchdown, they lead it 20-6, 10:56 to go. Barrett Wilkie already with 10 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown for Sandy Creek. Just to remind you, since it has been a while since they've been on the field, Ethan Shaw had that 32-yard passing touchdown to Cameron Seeley. That was the lone pass attempt for Sandy Creek on offense. Ethan Shaw running the football had 5 carries for 22 yards from the quarterback position. As Stanton kicks this one, it's a traditional squib. They're lowing it. Now they'll reverse it, give it to a man. Now has some opening up the left side. And a nice job by the Sandy Creek kick return team as they pulled a little trickery out, also potentially setting up something that we might see later in the game of a fake reverse up there, and they will start with possession at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, big drive for Sandy Creek right here. You want to get something going, get across at least the 30 in this short field, and put some pressure on this Stanton defense.
Sandy Creek out of Fairfield, Nebraska, an hour and 30 minutes away from Memorial Stadium. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. They turn, fake the handoff, quarterback keeper immediately hit by a defender off the left side. I think that it looks like number 55, or rather 56, that is Parker Bickley. Also in on the stop was Garrett Hansen. That was his 88th tackle of the season. So Sandy Creek now, after that gain of 1 on first down, brings up 2nd down and 9. We mentioned it, Chancellor, with Stanton especially, but with Sandy Creek, not so much because they can throw the ball, and statistically they have done so. You still want to stay on schedule.
Yeah, you still do. You don't want to put your offense in harm's way.
Play action, back to pass is Shaw. He steps up, running to the right, throws to the right. It's well over the head of everybody in the area. It went way over the top of the Stanton sideline as well, and it falls incomplete. 3rd and 9, and just like that, after we just mentioned and alluded to the amount of time that Stanton took off the clock, here's Sandy Creek in danger of going 3 and out in the blink of an eye if they can't get a first down in one of these next 2 plays.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't got to get all 9 here. At least get half of it right here and force a tough 4th down decision.
So 3rd down and 9 from their own 37. Empty shotgun snap, quick pass out right side. It's caught by Rempe. Has some running room, spun around and thrown down near that first down marker. He's going to be 3 yards shy or so, and that brings up 4th down and short. 4th down and 2 officially with 9:58 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, take what the defense give you, and now you got a 4th and 2, a real manageable 4th and 2. You can run the ball, you can pass the ball, you can do whatever you want right here. Definitely a key opportunity for Sandy Creek because you definitely don't want to give this ball back to Stanton too early.
4th down and 2 as Sandy Creek breaks the huddle. They'll have 4 down linemen, or I should say 3, and then a tight end as well on the right side. 2 wideouts to the far side. Shotgun set, speed option left side. Shaw keeps it himself, breaks 1 tackle, has some running room. Ethan Shaw continuing inside the 10. Touchdown! Sandy Creek on 4th and 2 is able to score a touchdown and cut the Stanton lead to 8 at 20-12.
I love it. A little speed option to the field. The pitch key guy, doesn't trigger, and he ends up just taking it. I'm sure he put his head down, tried to get the first, and a hole opened up, and he accelerated through. Nice speed by Shaw right there.
We talked about the physical running ability of Wilkie on Stanton's side out of the quarterback position, but there was Shaw breaking a tackle. He would have had the first down regardless, but he broke a tackle, and that opened up the rest of the turf for him to run to the pay dirt, and he is able to score a touchdown. The 2-point conversion attempt as Shaw runs to his left, still looking, surveying, throws off his back foot. It's deflected, and it falls incomplete. 9:50 to go in the second quarter. Stanton leads 20-12, but Ethan Shaw just made things a little more interesting with a 36-yard touchdown run on a 4-play, 44-yard drive that took just 1 minute of game time off the clock. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainer, Chancellor Brewington back with you after a 36-yard touchdown run from the quarterback Ethan Shaw. Makes it a 20-12 ball game. Stanton leads by 8. I think we have a pause in the action because it looks like a heater that is on the Sandy Creek sideline. It almost caught, I think it might have caught on fire. There was a lot of, did you see that smoke, Chancellor?
Yeah, a lot of smoke.
There was a lot of smoke coming out of it. I think they unplugged it, and it looks like we're ready to go once again. And they paused the action as they call a fair catch. That was hard not to get distracted by because you just saw a thick layer of smoke coming from the propane heater that they have on each sideline, and now just nothing is coming out of it. And so it almost looked like it caught on fire for a moment.
That's not what you want to see.
No, and you saw it. Everybody's kind of just being cautious right now. I think they're sending some people over to look at it, but everybody's kind of being cautious. There's a coach that's over there now, but back to the game. Here we are. Stanton with it on the left side, quarterback keeper. Great tackle in the backfield there by number 2, Ethan Shaw, and it looks like they just unplugged the heater. That was bizarre because out of nowhere, you just saw this thick layer of smoke that you don't really want to see that. So there you have it, though.
Good distraction there.
Yeah, right. Tell me about it. Well, and then they looked like they were going to pause the game.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they kicked things off like, no, we're all good. Don't worry about what's going on the sidelines. So there you have it. Anyway, after the loss of 2 yards on first down, it'll be 2nd down and 12. Sounds like somebody said it ran out of diesel fuel.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what that means. Maybe they're here. Maybe they're here listening. How about that? As quarterback keeper, here's Wilkie across the 30-yard line, has a lot of running room across midfield, and on the near sideline is driven out of bounds near the 30-yard line of Sandy Creek. So Barrett Wilkie with another big gain on 2nd down and long, makes it 1st and 10 with 9.5 to go.
Yeah, I think both these defenses have to take account for the quarterback in the passing game taking off on their feet because that's a real threat and a real option for both offenses.
So now I'm getting corrected on the text line, Chancellor. So I guess when one of those heaters run out of fuel, that's what happens.
Oh, okay.
There's tons of smoke. So nothing caught on fire. I appreciate the text line, though.
I appreciate it.
You learn something.
Learn something new every day.
1st and 10, ball carried up forward for about a yard by the running back there. Makes it 2nd down and 9 coming up from the 30-yard line. And so this is why I stay away from the cold, man. I'm out on cold. You played in Arizona, right? That's where you came from prior to Nebraska? Was Northern Arizona?
Yep, Northern Arizona. Got a dome, though, Nick.
No need for that in Arizona.
Oh, it snowed. Come on.
2nd down and 9 coming up. 9:02 to go in the second quarter. 20-12 your score. Stanton with the lead and the football. They're actually going to run Becker Pullman, the wide receiver, out of the somewhat of a wildcat formation, but now it looks like some frustration with Pullman and some of the other guys on offense as they will trot over to the sideline and call a timeout. So 8:51 to go, 2nd and 9. Ball is on the 30-yard line. We'll go ahead and keep it here. I want to tell you about our friends at the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office. Click it or ticket, buckle up when you drive. Sponsored by the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office. So before, back in D2 action, it was Central Valley 52-12 over Riverside. Here, Stanton leads 20-12. So a little more of a balanced, more competitive game here in Class D1 action so far early on. Still about a little over a half of football to play, obviously. And things can change quickly in 8-man football.
Momentum is a huge part of this game, especially because, I mean, the field's smaller, so the score should be a little bit higher, right? It's already
absolutely
20-12. Last game it was 40-0.
Yep.
I mean, start the game off. So right here this is a crucial drive right now. Interesting to see what they get to. 2nd and 9 right here.
So it'll be 2nd and 9, as Chancellor said, from the 30-yard line. 20-12 your score. Stanton with the football and the 8-point lead. Sandy Creek with 3 down linemen defensively. From a sheer numbers standpoint, Stanton has the advantage here in a tighter formation. Wildcat with Pullman. He'll keep it on the direct snap. Has a hole up the right side and is tackled near that first down marker. I think they're going to give him the first down as they will move the chains. 10-yard carry on 2nd down for Beckett Pullman. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Stanton.
Yeah, Stan's doing a really good job in the run game, letting these holes develop. They're pulling a lot of guards and allowing them to get their blocks set and not overrunning these blocks. So great job by these ball carriers, specifically in Barrett Wilkie and Becker Pullman.
So that time it was Pullman on the carry. Now under center, here is the quarterback, Barrett Wilkie. Quarterback keepers just continuing. It's essentially what it reminds me of is a tush push without any help from behind. It's just a quarterback sneak. You're under center and you just lunge forward. And if you get a couple of yards, great. If you stay on your feet and have an opening, even better. And they have 2nd down and 7 coming up after the gain of 3 on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, it's almost like a free 3 yards on 1st down every time. I mean, why wouldn't you take it unless you're taking a shot, in a particular situation? But I like the philosophy there.
Do you think 4.5 yards per play is a good average? Remember that? Anyway, second down and 7 coming up in just a moment. They'll turn, fake the handoff, quarterback keeper. It's Wilkie as he gets spun around and taken down right before the boundary on the far sideline. Another gain of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd and manageable, though. 3rd and 5 officially from the 15-yard line.
See, even in these situations, like a 3rd and 5, like, do you sneak it on these situations? Like, I mean, if you want to get a manageable 4th down, I'll be interested to see, if they do one of those moving forward. But I would expect some type of misdirection from Wilkie. Probably not a pass down for Stan right here.
3rd down and medium. 3rd and 5 coming up as they run a similar formation. We've seen them do a direct snap, fumble on the snap, and it's recovered by Sandy Creek. They ran a similar formation to where Wilkie's in the shotgun while Pullman is kind of lined up as a direct snap option for the snapper, and it actually hit off of the left arm of Becker Pullman, fumble on the play, and number 68, Jack Watts for Sandy Creek coming off the edge, was right there, jumped on the football, and it's a much-needed turnover for the Sandy Creek defense.
Yeah, great job right there. You try to do the direct snap, but that's one thing. If you do those type of special plays, you got to make sure you secure the football.
1st and 10 now for Sandy Creek as they take over on offense from their own 19-yard line. They'll send Rempe in motion. Watch for him as they're going to look Rempe's way. Inaccurate ball. He had his man beat. He also had one-on-one coverage out there, but it was overthrown towards the boundary. It falls incomplete. And once again, Chancellor, as we saw earlier in their morning game, I'm okay with taking a shot. I think that's a good play. We see that a lot, right? After the turnover, see if you can get a chunk play or catch the defense on the heels. They tried that there, and they might have had a chance if it was just a little bit better thrown.
Yeah, shot to Connor Rempe. It looked like Connor Rempe was trying to fake out the defender, faked out the quarterback at the same time.
6:54 to go, 2nd quarter, 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line. They'll keep it with the quarterback. Here's Ethan Shaw, is able to get a nice gain of 7 yards or so up to the 26-yard line, and that'll make it 3rd down and 3. Especially if you can assure yourself of, 6 or more yards on second down, why not take a shot right when you get the ball back after a turnover?
Exactly.
Makes it third down and very manageable. 3rd down and 3 officially. Sandy Creek with 71 rushing yards on the day, 39 passing yards for a total of 110 offensively. Stanton outgaining them on the ground, 147-71. However, Sandy Creek, after the fumble, has 3rd down and 3 coming up. Speed option to the left side. Now they'll toss it late. Great job pitching, reversing field. Here he goes as Rempe runs up the near sideline, and Rempe will score. Wow. Touchdown, Sandy Creek. As much of an athletic play as that was by Connor Rempe, that was an even better and well-timed pitch, as I think we might see this week, Chancellor, from the quarterback, Ethan Shaw. He waited until the last possible moment to toss that one left on the speed option, and Rempe did the rest of the work.
And that's to the left. That's pitching with your left hand, and that's an art. That pitch is an art. We saw earlier today with Central Valley, the 2-hand pitch, right? And that's a 1-hand pitch. Good job attacking the pitch key, outside shoulder and planting, stepping, and pitching it right to his chest.
So now the 2-point conversion attempt to tie it up, as Sandy Creek trying to score on a 2-point conversion attempt. They'll keep it with Shaw. He won't pitch it this time, as the defender tried to bite on the pitch, and Shaw read it perfectly and ran right into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And just like that, we are all knotted up at 20 apiece. 5:58 to go in the second quarter. Sandy Creek has now scored 14 unanswered points, and they tie things up at 20-20 against the Stanton Mustangs here in the Class D1 state championship game. We'll come back in 30 seconds.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A 54-yard touchdown run by Connor Rempe off the toss from Ethan Shaw makes it a 20-20 ball game. It capped off a 3-play, 61-yard drive that took 1 minute and 2 seconds off of the game clock after that Stanton fumble on offense. So now we're all tied up at 20 apiece, and Sandy Creek ready to kick things off once again to the Mustangs. Nick Sainert, Chancellor Brewington with you. A low squib kick, and Stanton will just fall on it and assure themselves of possession at the 25-yard line.
I'll tell you what, you got to be locked in and focused every kickoff.
Yeah.
If you're the receiving team.
There's some tricks up these guys' sleeves here at this level, especially with 8-man is what I was referring to.
Yeah, with the squib kicks, I mean, you never know what hop you're going to get. You played baseball, right?
Yeah,
for
sure.
That in-between hop.
100%.
Yeah.
You got to have confidence. 1st and 10. Ball is on the 25, 24-yard line, I suppose, officially under center. Here is Wilkie. Wilkie running to his left side, has a lead blocker, is able to shed one, and then gets pushed out of bounds after a short gain of maybe 2 yards up to the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 8 coming up as Sandy Creek defensively was able to seal that edge and not allow Wilkie to get outside and then some.
Yeah, I would like for Stanton probably to do those type of speed options and counters, maybe to the field, give Wilkie a little bit more space to work with.
2nd down and 8 from the 26-yard line, 5:52 to play in the first half. Class D1 state championship game, empty shotgun set. Wilkie's by himself, one receiver to the right. They'll run it on the direct snap, and quarterback keeper to the right side has some room, stays in bounds, and has a 1st down. No, they're going to mark him 2 yards short. They're going to say that he stepped out of bounds with one of his feet about 1.5 yards shy of that 1st down marker. Man, Stanton had Wilkie had a lot of running room there for the Stanton offense, and a disappointing mistake stepping out of bounds early on, and it's now 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea right here to quarterback sneak. It looks like real tight formation. Fullback's real tight.
They'll motion Pullman from right to left and now run the quarterback on the left side. Has some running room, is able to make two guys miss, tries to reverse field, and now gets taken down. Had one man to beat. And for Sandy Creek, Cameron Seeley was able to save a touchdown from happening, but it's still a first down for the Stanton Mustangs offense with 5:39 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, Barrett Wilkie has great vision. I mean, he's crossing field at the right times. He can anticipate guys running the alley. Good cutbacks, good lanes, and good ball security so far.
20-20 is your score here between Stanton and Sandy Creek. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line of Sandy Creek for this Stanton offense. Under center is Wilkie. Wilkie with Pullman behind him. He'll motion a man from left to right along that offensive line. Now they'll toss it right side to Pullman. Able to shed one tackler and then dives forward for a gain of 5 yards up to the 22-yard line. It's not a bad play there on first down. Good yardage for the Stanton offense. The man that they're having run in motion quite often is number 42, Logan Tidkey. Tidkey has just 6 carries on the season, so not the biggest threat to run. So you're not too concerned, I think, if you're Sandy Creek, with maybe them handing it off on an end around to Tidkey on one of those times that he sends or is sent in motion. You're really worried about Wilkie and Pullman, obviously, as we've called their name a plethora of times tonight, as Wilkie keeps himself. Great tackle defensively by Connor Rempe, as it's for a loss, maybe right back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, it looks like Wilkie's getting a little tired right now. I want to get Pullman involved on this 3rd and 3. Or, I mean, I honestly wouldn't be mad at a little quarterback sneak right here. Get some good push going on. Will be interesting to see if they go back to the direct snap. Had a fumble on that with Pullman last possession.
I mean, how about this? Barrett Wilkie, the quarterback, here with 4:02 to go in the second quarter, already has 21 rushing attempts. It's a lot of wear and tear on the guy snapping the ball every play. As now this is number 22 of the game, able to shed a shoestring tackle, gets knocked down at that line to gain. I think he's going to have enough for the first down. He got about 4.5 yards there, needed 4, and it'll be a first down officially for the Stanton Mustangs offense.
Yeah, you see Wilkie with his hands on his hips. You can tell this guy's gassed. Pullman ends up getting the play for him. Oh, never mind.
So now Wilkie, they might check. Okay, they're going to check Wilkie out. We saw this earlier where Wilkie needed a breather, and so Pullman will come in and essentially run the quarterback spot. It's essentially a wildcat because Pullman is such a good runner. And they'll just snap it to Pullman. He cuts upfield, has some running room inside the 10-yard line and down after about a 9-yard gain. The clock continues to trickle down, 3:14 to go in the second quarter of play. We're all tied up at 20 apiece, but Stanton is on the door.
Yeah, I would say I want Pullman in the quarterback sneak game, but I don't know how comfortable he is under center. If that's going to be an automatic muff snap right there. We got 2nd and 1, expecting something downhill. Probably don't want to attack the edges right here. Getting a pretty good push from the O-line.
100% as Pullman will still be in for Wilkie at this time. Takes the snap from the shotgun, just dives forward, spins around, tries to drive the legs, and then hits a wall of Sandy Creek defenders. But most importantly for Stanton's offense, 1st and goal coming up from inside the 5. Ball will be placed on the 3-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. And if you've seen the Stanton offense at all so far in this one, you're pretty confident in their ability to get 3 yards with 4 opportunities at it.
Yeah, it looks like Wilkie's back in the game at quarterback. Would expect for him to get the ball right here.
Wilkie on the day, 22 carries and 2 scores. He's lined up in the shotgun, keeps it, direct snap. He'll keep it, run to the left side. Great tackle defensively there by number 2, Ethan Shaw. Rempe was also there to clean up anything that was left defensively. And with 2:01 to go, it's now 2nd and goal after the loss of 2. And look at that. Wilkie's already got his hands on his hips. He's still tired, even though he took a couple plays off.
Yeah, still tired in there. I mean, 22 carries, 133 yards already before halftime. I mean, I understand being tired, but you got to get this in right here, whether they go to a little quarterback sneak or they do a little reverse with Pullman right here. Got to get this in.
Under center, quarterback keeper. Wilkie just continues to drive the legs, and he is in. Barrett Wilkie on his 24th carry of the first half finds the end zone for the third time today. And the Stanton Mustangs now lead it 26-20. So Barrett Wilkie, 24 carries for 137 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. And Stanton now leads 26-20 with 1:31 to go in the first half.
I don't know if they got a fantasy for high school football, but I'd want Barrett Wilkie on my team.
One of your first picks?
Yeah, for sure.
Under center, Wilkie does the same exact play and is able to get the 2-point conversion to be successful. 28-20 with 1:31 to go in the second quarter here in the Class D1 state championship game. Nick Sainer, Chancellor Brewington. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Chancellor Brewington alongside Nick Sainer here. Austin Orman back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios, just about 2 blocks away from us, 2 blocks south, as we're here up on the 6th floor of Memorial Stadium on the west side of the field. The shadows covering pretty much about 95% of the field here. Still not a cloud in the sky. We have reached 40 degrees. This will probably be the warmest that it is all day. Tonight's game sure to be chilly between Omaha West Side and Millard South. That one kicks off around 7:15 p.m. All right, Stanton to kick things off. A short squib kick and fielded cleanly. Sandy Creek looking now, fumble on the play, and Stanton recovers. So once again, as we saw it work in Sandy Creek's favor earlier, when Stanton was in the red zone, the fumble allowed Sandy Creek to score a touchdown, 2 touchdowns rather, without having to worry about Stanton's offense. Now Stanton, in the blink of an eye, with 1:27 on the game clock here in the first half, has a chance to do the same exact thing and go up by 2 scores once again.
Yeah, I've said it previously, but you can't relax on these kickoffs, or on the receiving team at least. These squib kicks, they probably kick it to a player that doesn't hold the ball much. So great job capitalizing.
So now empty shotgun set. Here is Wilkie. Wilkie runs to the left side and immediately gets swallowed up by number 2 Ethan Shaw, as well as I believe that was number 9 Jacob Peter, who was also in on the stop for the Sandy Creek defense. No gain on the play, makes it 2nd down and 10 with 1:09 to play in the second quarter. Now, I would also say this about Stanton. They don't throw the ball a whole lot. So far today, 1 of 2 for 26 yards and a touchdown. They had the 1 touchdown pass to Becker Pullman to start the scoring barrage. But now here on the 2nd down play, they'll keep it once again with Wilkie. Wilkie gets out of bounds after a gain of 6 yards or so up to the 20.
Yeah, I like to see Pullman here in some type of sort of fashion, whether it's a jet sweep, whether it's a play action pass right here. I mean, that would be a nifty call, I should say, for Stanton. A little play action pass. I don't think anyone would expect that right now because, I mean, like you said, only 2 attempts thus far today.
28-20 is your score. 46 seconds remaining here in the first half of action. Stanton leads by 8. They also have the football after the fumble by Sandy Creek on the kickoff. They'll motion a man. Now quarterback keeper, right up the middle they go. It's going to be very close to that first down marker, but it looks like initially that it's going to bring up 4th down and very short. 33 seconds left on the game clock.
They're going to run the same play.
Stanton does have 1 timeout remaining, 27 seconds. They'll run right up the middle, get the first down marker, and I would imagine Stanton will have to call a timeout here in just a moment. They're going to stop the clock while the chains get reset. 23
timeout
on the clock. No timeout yet. The clock is running, 21 and counting. Less than 20 now. They'll motion Bo Pullman. Turn, looking to pass is Wilkie, and he'll have to chuck it away. It's incomplete, and the clock will freeze with 12 seconds on it.
Yeah, smart. I mean, I would probably took a timeout there. Kind of rush a play call right there. Probably not something you really want to run. And now you got 12 seconds. Probably enough for 2 plays, maybe possibly 3 if you're lucky. Probably 2 plays, maybe a quick hitter right here, and then a quick timeout right after this.
2nd down and 10, 28-20 is your score between Stanton and Sandy Creek. Shotgun snap. They'll motion Pullman out, and he'll be by himself on the bottom. Look his way. He throws across the middle. Caught by Pullman inside the 5, and with 6 seconds, they will get a 1st down and goal. We'll see. Now Stanton will call a timeout with 6 seconds on the game clock, which you would imagine at this point on the field, you might have 2 cracks at this.
Yeah, 2 quick. I mean, the first
on
one,
a passing play, of course.
Yeah. I would go a quick hitter right here. Something in the end zone, obviously. Not a rollout. I mean, maybe I don't know if Pullman's a fade type of guy, but something quick like that. If you run the football, ask him probably be your last play.
Which then once again, it's do you line up under center and do what you've done consistently to this point with Wilkie, who's got 28 carries for 148 yards and 3 scores, averaging 5.5 per carry. Do you just line him up under center as the quarterback and just try to drive him in?
To be honest, I would go with Pullman right here.
I would as well. I think we nailed it. I think you nailed it with the quick hitter. And if the pass then doesn't work, then you maybe talk about a potential run play. This is a big opportunity here for Stanton because Sandy Creek will get the ball to start the second half. And so for both sides, for Stanton, you would get an opportunity to go up by 2 scores before you give the ball essentially back to Sandy Creek at the start of the 3rd quarter. But for Sandy Creek, you're sitting here going, if you're able to keep the Mustangs offense out of the end zone, you will get the ball to start quarter number 3, and you have a chance to tie it up just like that, and the fumble doesn't come back to bite you.
So we got who we got? Pullman out in the slot right here, the bottom. Yeah, I would expect him coming out for a quick out right here.
Empty shotgun set. 6 seconds on the game clock. Fumble on the snap, and Stanton, there's no timeouts left. Stanton is not going to be able to get it into the end zone. With 0 on the clock, they'll start to head towards the locker room. A fumble on the snap. Stanton had to dive on it, and they didn't even get a chance to add to their lead. So the fumble on the kickoff by Sandy Creek does not come back to harm them. And at the break, it's 28-20 here in the Class D-1 state championship game between the Stanton Mustangs and the Sandy Creek Cougars. Nick Sainer, Chancellor Brewington with you. We'll send it back to our 93.7 The Ticket studios for halftime coverage. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes or so with the start of quarter number 3 from Memorial Stadium on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Attention Nebraska sports fans, are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sorry, it's 4 o'clock. It's not really old school. It would be on a normal day. So we'll shout out our friends at the Mercado. We're bringing you high school state football class D1 state championship. Stanton and Sandy Creek in a 28-20 game right now. Austin Norman, Derek Pearson with you in the studio. DP, it's that time of year again. It's getting crazy. It's getting busy in the best of ways. A great Husker weekend. Now some great high school football action going on. We would not have it any other way.
No, it's fun. I sent Chancellor a text in the first half, and I said, 8-man football. How many yards a game would you have? Right. And as a coach, you understand the spacing differential, and even if you modify the lines of gain and et cetera, sidelines, it's still spacing, best player wins.
Still create a one-on-one, get a numbers advantage. It's still
right,
football.
Right. And Chancellor goes 500. And I don't know, like I want to ask Jay that Wednesday. It's like in that space, can you imagine high school Jay Foreman at 6'3", 205 pounds playing running back, what he would do in an 8-on-8.
Let me just say that I think running back Jay Foreman would like 8-on-8 a whole lot better than linebacker Jay Foreman.
Yeah. Well, I think linebacker Jay would like it because there's fewer big dudes to get in his way.
True, but it's more running. And when has Jay ever been a cardio guy?
Oh, Foreman writes cards and letters to Austin Norman at the So it's always like I know I've talked to a few of the guys who played 8-on-8, and and the game differential, and that always translates from an athletic standpoint, being able to go sideline to sideline, goal line to goal line, that there's a differential, and they carry that to the next level into 11-man and even the higher levels. So it's always interesting. And then this is the time of year where it gets interesting. We get to have bowl talk, bowl game talk. We have to, Austin, we have to make plans for Christmas.
Have to? We get to.
Right? Like
it's an
we have to.
exciting thing. It's not an obligation. It's not a chore.
Well,
it's
no,
supposed
have
to
to
be.
like have to is actually in the thing now that you put it in place and go, no, we actually can make plans that we don't know what the plans are. We probably won't know until Saturday, Monday.
Yeah.
So probably 10 days or so. Bowl games matter depending on who makes it to the Big Ten championship game.
Who's your prediction right now? Who do you think makes it? Oregon's already in. Who are they facing?
Oregon's in no matter what Friday or Saturday's result is. I think it is Ohio State. I think they get Michigan. So you give people that thing. And again, that becomes the second of three. Because I really do believe those are the two best teams in football. But I'll ask you this. What if I said that I think Notre Dame is actually number 2 right now?
I think Notre Dame has played a lot better since their loss to Northern Illinois. Sneaky good on defense. Not a lot going on through the air, but we kind of expected that with Riley Leonard at quarterback.
Right.
They've got a two-headed monster back there at running back, add a third weapon on the ground in Riley Leonard. I still don't fully trust Notre Dame, right? We've seen them get to the big stage before and fall flat on their face. But credit to them, they've picked it up in the regular season. Their two biggest challenges were supposed to be Army and Navy. Oh boy, the Golden Domers did some wildly unfortunate things to our nation's militia.
Well, but it was beautiful in that the things that we doubt about Notre Dame, they exhibited in full form against two of the most disciplined teams in college football.
Yeah,
and that was the thing. Are you disciplined enough not to get selfish and egotistical in those critical moments? And Notre Dame stayed to themselves and did their thing. And here's another thing, and maybe you can go against, if you will, but I'm not sure I don't trust Notre Dame more than I trust Oregon.
Well, Notre Dame does have more national championships than Oregon.
Right?
They have that going on in school history, but I trust
Oregon is constantly Oregon.
They are, but to their credit, they had a chance to Oregon early in the year against Boise State. Against what should be the Heisman front runner.
But that's Boise State.
It is, but that's a college football playoff team right now. If the season ended today.
Well, I'm not sure about that either anymore, right? And I'm not sure what the 12 looks like. But here's the thing: if Boise State's your real challenge, most people listening, most people conversationally talking about Boise State football can't name 3 Boise State players,
right? But then they also had Ohio State driving. It took Ohio State messing up to beat them. But, Oregon won that game. Washington is a team
I think they still got
slighted
them up. Like they owe Ohio State for
probably a little bit.
Right. Like they owe them. Here's the thing. Do we trust an Oregon program that's never been the program? And there's even with all the athletics, all the bells and whistles, all the fireworks, has never won a title.
Oregon feels to me, DP, almost like an expansion Major League Baseball franchise, right? They came in, they got a lot of good talent, and just because we haven't seen them do it before doesn't mean they can't do it. But we're still waiting, right? Chip Kelly took that program to a national championship appearance.
Well, they didn't win it. They didn't win it with Dan Fouts and Ahmad Rashad, and like there's a full line of Oregon talent all the way back in the day, and they've never found a way. Right. So we're talking about the programs. It is not of the teams at the top of this championship tier. Oregon is the only not blue blood. It's a great program. It's not a blue blood.
No.
Right.
No.
And so everybody else is in that blue blood territory. Right. That Boise State has had as much success in postseason and bowl games as Oregon. So then you have to say, in the full range, what would you say? I mean, think about it. Colorado's had more success than Oregon. Washington's had more success. So I'm just not sure that of this group that I trust anybody, literally anybody in this tournament to just get on a run. Somebody's going to get hot and run it. But Austin, if we said anybody in the top 12 lost in their first college playoff game, we would not be surprised.
No, not in the slightest.
No.
I do think, though, the way the bracket is setting up right now, I like the 5 seed, whoever that ends up being, because you get a game to knock off the rust. You get the lowest seeded team remaining in the playoffs. Then you get a shot at a 4, right? Who's a good team, right? But who's borderline.
Florida State. Miami. Sorry.
Yeah, Miami, right? Yeah. Good and gettable at the same time.
Yep.
Then you get a shot at the 1 seed.
Who's just going to come off 2 brawls.
Just the one, because they'll have the bye.
Well, here's the thing.
Championship bye.
If Ohio State's win and Oregon State decides to cough up one, and then Ohio State gets Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, right? Because they're still going to play, right?
Yeah.
Right? So whoever goes into that first round game as a 1, you're going to have 2 dogfights.
Oh, yes, for
2
sure.
absolute dogfights. And then, listen, if you're the 5 seed, you kind of know what's expected of you. You get a home game, you get practices, you get 2 extra day practices than anybody else because you're playing at home, no travel, and then the following week you know in advance who you're going to play. So yeah, there's some things in play about this 12 that 5 is in a good spot. 5 is somebody that has something to prove. 5 could be Ohio State, and then you're laughing.
Yeah.
You're laughing because there's 0 chance we think Miami's going to beat Ohio State.
Oh, no.
Right? Like,
I hope it's a fun, explosive game, but you lean Ohio State in this moment.
I mean,
especially because they can handle the whole balloon. They can handle the media attention.
And we still don't know who the Big 12 is.
Dude, DP, that's going to be so fun to watch this weekend.
Right? Like, that could be the 5. That could be the 4. That we really don't know.
Big 12 champs still has to jump Boise.
Big 12 champs and ACC champs. And then Notre Dame can be spoiler and screw it up. They beat USC this week, and then they get to have some fun.
DP, we got about 30 seconds, 45 before we want to get it back to break in Nick and Chancellor Memorial Stadium. Travis says Bama is going to get in with 3 losses as the 11 or 12 seed. Mark my words. Put the Crimson Tide in their place, please.
No, you've lost 3 times, and you look terrible in all 3. You look terrible. Like you look. Saturday is all the exclamation point required. Like, what's the social media meme of the Bama fan just going, that's just bad Alabama football. Like, just, I don't know. Get out of Tuscaloosa. Like, listen.
Roll out of here, Ty.
If your own people, I'm becoming like the fan in the commercial. High tide. High tide. It's not roll tide. It's high tide.
He's DP. I'm Austin. We're sending you back out to Memorial Stadium here in just a minute. Second half of the Class D1 state championship game. Number 1, Sandy Creek. Number 2, Stanton. Second half right after this.
It's mentoring program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches.
Order pickup or delivery on Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Hey, bestie.
Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats. Dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people. Small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thank you to DP and Austin Orman for covering for a couple of minutes back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios, back here at Memorial Stadium. Nick Sainert and Chancellor Brewington as we get ready for the start of the second half between the Stanton Mustangs and the Sandy Creek Cougars here in Class D1's title game. I want to thank our sponsors, our friends of the program, for allowing high school coverage to be possible. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty, Members Owned Credit Union, Sunbelt Rentals, Jimmy John's, the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Teammates Mentoring, Union Bank and Trust, and last but certainly not least, Play It Again Sports. All right, Chancellor, 28-20. If you're Sandy Creek with the fumble as the second quarter expired, you somewhat caught a break. Now you're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3. What's your approach on offense?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you got to establish some type of run game. You look at time possession; they have 5:18 compared to Stanton's 18:42.
Yeah.
So definitely establish some type of run game. Thus far, it's been Ethan Shaw. Let's just be real. It's been Ethan Shaw over for Sandy Creek's offense. And taking care of the football, being disciplined, and not being afraid to take a shot when you need it, right? We saw that in the first driver game of both teams. But making sure you establish a run game and kind of shorten that time possession for Stanton.
Well, how about this just note here? And obviously it hasn't hurt Sandy Creek because they're only down by one possession, but 42 plays for the Stanton Mustangs compared to just 14 for Sandy Creek. Sandy Creek just 5 minutes of possession, while for the Stanton Mustangs, they're sitting there with over 18 and a half minutes of time of possession. So pretty lopsided in those two categories, but yet on the scoreboard, Sandy Creek has been able to have more explosive plays, and they've been able to find themselves just in this one thanks to a fumble from Stanton earlier in that first half. But after the kickoff to start quarter number 3, it'll be 1st and 10 and real good starting field position here for Sandy Creek at their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, welcome to the Ethan Shaw show. I mean, 8 rushing attempts, 66 yards, only 4 passing attempts, same as Barrett Wilkie as well. Definitely want to see him get involved in the running game, but maybe spread the ball out, get some other players involved, and cause some other factors for this defense to be aware of.
11:55 just underway here in the third quarter. 28-20 your score between Sandy Creek and Stanton. The Sandy Creek Cougars on offense. Pass caught. Great ball. Thread in the needle intended for Cameron Seeley is complete, and that'll move the chains quickly. One play and another nice 11-yard gain for another first down for Sandy Creek.
Yeah, great little flood concept right there, rolling out to your right. Great throw by Ethan Shaw. I mean, there was no margin for error on that throw.
1st and 10 coming up from the Stanton 33-yard line. 11:30 to go in the third quarter. Sandy Creek down by 8, but they do have the ball as Ethan Shaw in the backfield. Shotgun snap. They turn. He'll keep it himself. Tries to find a hole. Lowers that shoulder and will get 2 yards up to the 31-yard line or so. Brings up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Ethan Shaw's a guy where, he can be effective in the run game, but he has a very, very good arm, very accurate, very poised in the pocket as well. So you can do a lot of things with him.
28-20 your score. The wind has died down a little bit here at Memorial Stadium. 40 degrees here at the start of the third quarter. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Sandy Creek offense. One receiver by himself on the bottom in front of the Stanton sideline. 2 guys in the backfield, the quarterback Shaw and the running back. Here's Rempe. Rempe will get the handoff, rolls to the left and is hit and taken down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, I tried to get the edge right there. Receiver out there just didn't get the block. Corner came through and made a nice play right there.
So now that brings up a crucial 3rd down. 3rd down and 8, right? So you're thinking mindset-wise, 2 plays to get 8 yards. If you're Sandy Creek, can you get halfway there or a little bit over? Because we've seen it already today that when Sandy Creek's in 4th and short territory, that's where 2 of their touchdowns have come from, is when it's been 4th and 3 and or 4th and 2. As Shaw fakes the run, looking to pass, has a guy downfield in one-on-one coverage. It's hauled in. Touchdown, Sandy Creek. On a pass from 31 yards out, Sandy Creek draws within 2 on the touchdown pass from Ethan Shaw to number 12, Wesley Biltoff.
Yeah, great job by Ethan Shaw right there. Great job by the offensive coordinator scheming that up. They fake counter right there, slip the tight end backside. It was a fantastic throw. Only one place he could have put it, and he put it right there.
So Wesley Biltoff gets his 9th receiving touchdown of the season and a 2-point conversion here in just a moment to decide whether or not Sandy Creek can tie things up at 28. They'll run it. Left side now look to pass. It's hauled in. 2-point conversion attempt is good. So with 9:59 to go in the third quarter, we're all knotted up at 28 points apiece. And Chancellor, I'm really impressed with some of the designs from Sandy Creek offensively, because not only on that 2-point conversion attempt, but also on that long pass from Shaw to Biltoff, is that they faked the run, and they did it so often in the first half that the defense bites, and then Shaw's able to throw it over the top and get the pass.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is 8-man, so it's going to be a lot of man-to-man. So the eye discipline on the defense is crucial. And seems like there were some lapses right there. And, of course, Sandy Creek took advantage of it.
Sandy Creek is able to tie things up at 28 points. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainer, Chancellor Brewington, back with you from Memorial Stadium. Austin Norman back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. 9:59 to go in the third quarter. 28 all is your score between the Sandy Creek Cougars and the Stanton Mustangs. Both these teams undefeated. One of these teams will lose for the first time this season here today. As the shadows, the sun is peeking over the press box here on the west side of the stadium. Just a small sliver of the stands on the lower level on the east side of the stadium is getting some sun exposure. The rest are starting to bundle up more with blankets and hats and jackets because the shadows are overtaking the stadium, as it's a low squib kick fielded cleanly at the 25-yard line, and they sit down crisscross as the 26-yard line just to make sure that they maintain possession.
Yeah, that's probably smart right there. Just make sure you get the ball back to your offense. And now for Stanton, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting drive. I mean, I would definitely hope and expect that they would take some time off the clock and get Barrett Wilkie going and get Pullman going as well.
Barrett Wilkie in that first half, 29 carries. Here's his 30th carry of the game as he's able to reverse field fumble on the play, and Sandy Creek comes up with the loose pigskin. as Stanton's quarterback, Barrett Wilkie, ran right side and then tried to reverse field back to the left side of the turf. And the defender for Sandy Creek was able to get his right arm in there and force that football loose. And it went down on the turf. Wilkie kept running, realized he lost the football. And by the time he tried to reverse course and pick up that football, it was too late. Sandy Creek jumps on it, and they take over 1st and 10 at the Stanton 26-yard line.
Yeah, that's where that fatigue sets in. You give Barrett Wilkie 29 attempts thus far, and you gotta be careful with the football right there.
So 1st and 10 as the momentum starting to shift towards Sandy Creek. Quarterback keeper, he'll dive forward. Short gain on the play for a yard up to the 25-yard line. Ball carried on the play by Ethan Shaw. That's his 10th carry of the day. Shaw, neither side has passed it a whole lot, but Shaw, 4 of 6 through the air for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. No INTs, while Barrett Wilkie on the Stanton sideline, 2 for 4 through the air for 38 yards and a score. Brings up 2nd down and 9 from the 25-yard line.
I would like a shot right here, Nick.
2nd down and 9. We'll see if they reach into their bag of tricks. Fake the handoff on the first option. Now Shaw keeps it, bounces out left side, has a 1st down and more. Inside the 10-yard line goes Ethan Shaw, and it will be right on the doorstep of 1st and goal, depending on the spot. They're going to mark him right at the 10, and I believe that will mean it's 1st and goal. Yes, it is.
Yeah, great job getting Ethan Shaw in space. I think that's the key of this offense is getting Ethan Shaw in space, getting him some blocks, getting him some holes, and he's doing a great job being patient with these blocks, letting them develop and hitting them full speed.
1st and goal from the 10. Sandy Creek trying to take the lead with 8.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Back to pass is Shaw, getting pressured. Lobs it, back corner of the end zone. Did he get his foot in? He did! What a catch by number 1, Connor Rempe, as he got his back foot down in the back of the end zone. A great lob, a ball by Ethan Shaw, and the Sandy Creek Cougars take a 34-28 lead.
I mean, that looks, I'm going to say it, that looks like a Raiola-esque throw. I mean, that was over 1 defender, over 2 defenders, perfectly put, got his left foot down. Oh! That was so close.
They're trying to say incomplete here.
Yeah, you got some Stanton defenders waving their hands saying incomplete. I don't know. It looked pretty close, Nick.
And there's the official buzz down from the officials. So there you have it. They're going to take a second look at this, and you might be sitting there saying, they don't have replay in high school at the state championships. They sure do. The instant replay booth directly to our right here up in the press box. We don't get to see anything because they got the blinds closed. It's kind of unfortunate, but for the time being, it is a touchdown. Colin Rempe, either way, the body control to try to stay in bounds. It was a great ball by Ethan Shaw because it was in a spot, Chancellor, where only Rempe's going to be able to catch that ball.
Yeah, I mean, great job high pointing that, not letting that ball come down. There's got to be enough evidence to overturn it. So I wonder what angles, and I don't know how many angles they have, right? But great job right there.
That angle that we saw on the video board here, it certainly looked like his left toe may have been on that paint.
Right.
And so that would signal for an incomplete pass. But as they say we hear it so often when you're watching games on TV, and now here I am saying it in a high school game, it's got to be conclusive evidence to overturn. Now, the important part of this is that they called it a touchdown on the field. So there has to be enough evidence to overturn it. We hear that so often, and I am saying it in the Class D-1 state championship game.
And even if you're Sandy Creek, let's say they don't get it, right? You're still moving the ball. You're moving the ball. This
100%.
This isn't as crucial, of course, but it's a great momentum swing for the Sandy Creek team.
Well, and especially if you're able to capitalize on a turnover, right? You force a turnover, and this is what you're supposed to do when you get the ball inside the opponent's 30-yard line. Figure out a way to find points in whatever way possible. And so far, every time that Sandy Creek has been able to force a turnover, they've been able to get points out of it, where we saw at the late stage of the first half, Stanton got a fumble on the kickoff by Sandy Creek. Stanton took over, and they were unable to get points at the end of the second quarter, and that proved to be costly, as now Sandy Creek was able to tie it up. I think if I had to put my prediction cap on, I think this one, as we have the replay up above, I think this one is going to be incomplete. It looks like that left leg of Rempe came down on that back line. The official still looking at it, talking to the people in the booth to our right currently. And so as I was saying, though, it looks like that foot touched the paint on the back of the end zone.
Yeah, if I'm Sandy Creek right here, I'm probably scheming up this next play, expecting them to probably overturn this.
And here comes the official call from the referee in just a moment. And it appears, is it going to stand? It will. So the play stands. They're going to say that there was not enough evidence to overturn that one. So how about that? Sandy Creek is able to keep the touchdown on the board. So now a 2-point conversion attempt looming. So a nice break there for the Sandy Creek offense is now coming out in shotgun. Here's Ethan Shaw, one wide out, Rempe at the bottom, running to the left, up the middle, and Shaw is in for the 2-point conversion with 8:33 to go in the third quarter, 36-28, as the Sandy Creek Cougars have scored 16 unanswered here in the first 3 minutes and 27 seconds of the third quarter, and they now lead by 8 over the Stanton Mustangs. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds. Be back on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Short squib kick, similar spot on the field as Stanton is able to recover it and get it near the 30-yard line. Connor Rempe, 5'8", 155 pounds. Not the biggest body out there by any means, but was able to high point that football and score a touchdown and from 10 yards out. And Connor Rempe allowed Sandy Creek to take a 36-28 lead. So now Stanton with the football, 1st and 10 from their own 30. Here is Wilkie, has some holes up the right side, is able to shed one tackler, tiptoeing the sideline, has one man to beat, reverses field, and now gets taken down from behind by Connor Rempe. And so as Wilkie kind of danced around a little bit on that far sideline, I wonder if he would have just continued to go straight towards that end zone. He wouldn't have been chased down from behind, but nonetheless, it is a long run on first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the Sandy Creek 12-yard line.
Yeah, way to bounce back if you're Barrett Wilkie from that fumble on the previous drive. Great job by Sandy Creek capitalizing on that.
It's a 38-yard run for the Stanton quarterback, and now Stanton will keep it with Wilkie once again. He gets forward for a gain of 5 yards or so, makes it 2nd down and 5 from the 7-yard line. The 2-yard line will give them a first down if they want to get a first down and a new set of chains before having to score this football. 7:42 to go in the third quarter, 36-28 your score. Sandy Creek on top by 8 points.
Yeah, if I'm Stanton, I'm not in any rush to hike this ball, and I'm going to milk some time and take some time off the clock.
Under center, here's Wilkie. He just powers his way forward, still on his feet, still getting pushed down closer to that goal line, and it looks like they will mark him at around the 1-yard line or so, and that makes it 1st and goal from the 1.
I would expect the same play.
Why not? Give Wilkie his 4th touchdown of the day. 5 He currently sits at 4 total touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Right on that 200-yard mark, too.
As Wilkie lines up under center, motions Pullman. He'll keep it himself. Wilkie, and he just jogs in for the touchdown. Stanton quickly answers. In just a few plays, they answer with a touchdown of their own, and it's now 36-34. Sandy Creek still on top by 2 over the Stanton Mustangs. But that is, once again, a 4-play, 50-yard drive that took 1 minute and 35 seconds off the clock. Barrett Wilkie now has 4 rushing touchdowns on 194 rushing yards on 34 attempts today. The 2-point conversion looming as Wilkie's under center. Same exact play, just barrel his way forward. It's good, and we are tied once again. 36-36 your score. 6:53 to go in the third quarter. As a team, Stanton is now up to 260 rushing yards on the day and 298 total yards on the afternoon. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds. We'll see, can Sandy Creek answer again on offense? We'll find out in just 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So after talking all game about how Stanton has just been able to sustain drives, they have over 19 minutes of time of possession in comparison to just 8.5 minutes for Sandy Creek. Here they go, 4 plays, 50 yards, 1:35 off the game clock, and they tie things up at 36 apiece. So 6:53 to go, just under halfway through this third quarter. Still a lot of football to be played, and these teams, both sides, having no problems scoring the football.
I love the offensive identities from both teams. I mean, they know exactly what they want to get to. If you're Stanton, they're going to, wedge that middle. They're going to use Wilkie.
As an onside kick attempt is no good. And so Sandy Creek was ready for it. A good job fielding it there by the man right at midfield. That looks like that was number 29, Benjamin Sullivan. A good job by Sullivan there, able to hop on that football. And now Sandy Creek, really good starting field position, 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line right at midfield.
Now, if you're Sandy Creek, I mean, Ethan Shaw's we've talked about it off air. He's throwing it out great today.
Yeah.
He's throwing it great, but he's also running it great too. So they can get to whatever they want offensively. This is a big drive for them right here.
1st and 10 now for Sandy Creek. Turns, fakes the handoff here. Shaw, a lot of running room, has one blocker in front of him, able to cut up field, now gets spun around, taken down inside the 25-yard line. A nice gain of maybe 17 yards, if my math doesn't deceive me there, for Ethan Shaw on 1st down. Move the chains, and it will be another 1st down for Sandy Creek. That was 17 yards on that carry. So 17-yard gain on 1st down. Ethan Shaw is now over 100 yards rushing on the day, and he sits at 12 carries, 101 yards rushing for 1 rushing touchdown. He's averaging 8.5 yards per carry. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Shaw keeps it again and meets a brick wall of that Stanton defensive line. It looked like big number 77, Ren Brown, made his 24th tackle of the season there. Ren Brown, the 6'6", 285-pound defensive lineman, was able to stuff the Sandy Creek quarterback that time for a loss of 1.
Well, that's a big boy. I can't tell from up here. I didn't know he's that big.
That's a big fella. 6'6", 285. The man in the middle. The first time we've called his name on defense so far today. And so Becker Pullman, who's kind of done a lot. We haven't called his name a whole lot offensively. He leads the Stanton defense in tackles, has 7. Here's Rempe up the left side. Hit hard by I believe that's Barrett Wilkie.
Yeah, that's Wilkie.
That's Barrett Wilkie, number 4. As the shadows are kind of coming over, it's tougher to see some of the numbers with the way that they are standing. And also these jerseys kind of get scrunched up, so it's a little tougher to see the numbers from way up here on the 6th floor of the West Stadium. However, with 5:13 to go in the third quarter, it's 3rd down and 6 from the 19-yard line.
It's a great hit by Wilkie right there.
That carry was by Connor Rempe. Rempe, that's his 4th carry for 64 yards on the day. 3rd and 6, ball on the 19-yard line. Shaw back to pass, looking, surveying. He'll keep it himself, run, has the first down and more. Cuts up, spun around at midfield, and has a first down inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line in just a moment for the Sandy Creek offense.
I think that's the theme for today. I mean, all quarterbacks almost today have been over 100 yards rushing. Great job.
1st and goal now from the 7, as now Ethan Shaw, after that 12-yard carry, is at 112 yards rushing on the day. Shaw has 4 total touchdowns. It's a duel of the quarterbacks, essentially, as there's 5 total touchdowns for Barrett Wilkie on the Stanton side. Shaw keeps it himself, runs left side, trying to follow the blockers, and he is in. So he says, Barrett Wilkie, whatever you can do, I can do it just as good, as now Ethan Shaw has 5 total touchdowns on the day. That's his 2nd rushing touchdown, and Sandy Creek on a 7-yard score by Ethan Shaw has taken a 42-36 lead.
Yeah, I'd take Ethan Shaw on my fantasy team too.
Whichever one.
Yeah, whichever one.
Whichever one's available.
1A, 1B right now.
4:19 to go in the third quarter. It's 42-26, and the 2-point conversion attempt coming up for Sandy Creek as Ethan Shaw comes out. It'll be empty shotgun set, 1 wide out to the near side. They have multiple guys on each side of that offensive line for extra protection. They run 3 guys on routes. Shaw dancing around all the way back at the 20, throws off his back foot, and a penalty flag is thrown in the end zone. He almost was able to get it complete to number 12, Wesley Biltoff, but it looks like there is going to be a penalty marker in the secondary, and it's going to go against the Stanton Mustangs.
Yeah, another chance here if you're Sandy Creek. Get this done.
So that was a tough ask for Ethan Shaw, though, because he was dancing around at the 20-yard line, getting pressured by multiple Stanton defenders, and threw off his back foot, just tried to throw it up and hope for the best, and he gets bailed out because of the penalty. So now they'll move it half the distance to the goal, to the 1-yard line, 1.5-yard line to be specific, and they'll come out in a similar formation. No wide out on the perimeter, though. You would expect maybe from 1.5 yards out, they'll just call Ethan Shaw's number on a quarterback keeper. On the 2-point conversion, that's exactly what they do. Shaw trying to lower the shoulder, and he is in. He actually lowered the shoulder. We saw maybe a little extension of the arm as he just tried to power his way forward, and he did just that. So with 4:19 to go in the third quarter, it's 44-36. We have a back-and-forth game. Sandy Creek punches, Stanton punches back. Then Sandy Creek punches one more time. Can Stanton do it again? We'll find out in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with the loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I mentioned the duel of the quarterbacks for the Sandy Creek Cougars. Ethan Shaw passing the ball 5 of 7 through the air for 91 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Running the ball, Shaw has 15 carries for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. While for Stanton, and we'll see him in just a moment, Barrett Wilkie, 2 for 4 through the air, 38 yards and a touchdown. Running the ball, Barrett Wilkie's done a lot of the damage, 34 carries, 194 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns. So both quarterbacks with 5 total touchdowns on the day, and we aren't even to the fourth quarter yet.
Yeah, this is a ball game. This is a heavyweight battle, back and forth. Like you said, punches being thrown. Secure this kickoff if you're Sandy Creek.
Sandy Creek, squib kick. Stanton's going to field it, jump on it rather, and they recover it successfully. So they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. It is somewhat bizarre, right? Because we're sitting here, it's a 44-36 game. We haven't seen one extra point even attempted in either game we've called today, Chancellor. But for the most part, we're sitting here going, this might be a 80-70 type of finish. I mean, the way that these offenses are scoring, that's not out of the realm of possibility. We're talking about these are 4-play drives, and the way that these teams are running the football, you're just wearing down the defense, especially when you have guys playing both sides.
Yeah, I mean, you got Barrett Wilkie with this 35th carry right there. I mean, the amount of wear and tear on him, but also the wear and tear, like you said, on this defense, having to tackle a big body like that every play.
So that makes it 2nd down and 7 after, as Chancellor mentioned, Wilkie's 35th carry got the Stanton offense 3 yards. 3 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Stanton offense. Empty shotgun snap. He rolls to his right, does Wilkie. Wilkie now dives forward, and he gets a gain of maybe 1.5 yards up to the 30-yard line. So that makes it 3rd down and 6 here, and we have an injured Sandy Creek Cougar defender on the field. So while we have a pause in the action, I want to tell you about our friends at Sunbelt Rentals. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators, and more, Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. SunbeltRentals.com. Make sure you visit them. Once again, that's SunbeltRentals.com. We're sitting here 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Sandy Creek leads 44-36. So after this one concludes, we'll send it back to our 93.7 The Ticket studios. We still got a little bit to go here in the Class D1 championship game. But as this one concludes, we'll send it back to our Ticket studios over there on 1040 O Street. And then we'll bring it back out here to Memorial Stadium around 7 o'clock or so tonight and get you rolling with pregame coverage ahead of the Class A state championship game between Omaha West Side and Millard South. Tomorrow, it is the Class C2, Class C1, and Class B state championship games. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us all day long so far today. While tomorrow in Class C2 action, it will be at 10:15. Chancellor will join me for that one. In Class C2 action, Norfolk Catholic, the number 1 seed, undefeated 12-0 Norfolk Catholic squad, up against the 11-1 Wahoo Bishop Newman. And then in the afternoon game in C1, Central City faces off against Wahoo. And then tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m., it's the Omaha Catholic Skyhawks against the 11-1 Bennington Badgers. That Scott team, how about this? It was a 46-game winning streak that Scott Catholic snapped earlier this season. Bennington had won 46 games in a row, and Scott Catholic snapped it. So a little bit of a revenge opportunity for the Bennington Badgers as they go for back-to-back state championships. So there you have it. As on 3rd down, Stanton will get enough for the 1st down. As guess who was carrying that ball? It was Barrett Wilkie.
He might get 50 carries today. That's not a crazy number, Nick.
How many are you getting for 50?
How many yards?
How many yards?
Oh, I mean, if you give me 50, like right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, in this game with this weather.
Yeah, at least 500 yards.
500 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. As 10, yeah, that's 10 yards per carry.
Yeah, I mean, that's not crazy.
That's not crazy. As Wilkie will keep it again. That's his 37th of the day. 2nd down and 7 coming up. I would love to talk to Barrett Wilkie and be like, all right, dude, what's your recovery plan?
Yeah,
talk about wear and tear week in and week out. He's got 37 carries for 206 and 4 touchdowns. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
He's going to be feeling it after this game.
Well, and imagine this, as he's under center now. He'll keep it himself, bounces off the left side, as he'll get third down and short coming up here.
Wilkie
Wilkie's slow to get up there. But I was just going to say this. I mean, this is when you're talking about some of these smaller classes, basketball season starts next week, Chancellor. These guys are going to go right into basketball season. A lot of these guys will.
Yeah, Wilkie might need a week. He might need a week after this one.
Basketball team might need him.
Yeah.
Not in the early season, maybe. I would say probably hold off then. Third down and 3. Ball is on the 35-yard line of Sandy Creek. Sandy Creek leads 44-36. Wilkie will be under center, 38 carries on the day for him. He'll motion a man from left to right. Wilkie will keep it himself, bounces it outside, cuts up field, has the first down, and then some just for good measure up at the 30-yard line of Sandy Creek. So, Wilkie, I would beg he'll probably get 40 before the end of the third quarter here. He needs one more.
Well, I'm waiting to get, Pullman involved.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a while.
I'm surprised why we haven't seen him. Been a real efficient to start this, in the first quarter. 13 carries, 69 yards, a long of 22. But haven't seen him lately.
Have not seen Becker Pullman as Wilkie in the shotgun. 1st and 10. Wilkie keeps it himself by himself, tries to break one tackle, fumbles the football, but he's able to dive on it and get it back. And there's that fatigue. You saw that,
This
right?
is what happened.
He was trying to do, and in a good way, trying to do too much. Like he was trying to make a play happen because he was trying to shed tacklers, bouncing outside. And a similar thing happened where that ball just got a little too far away from his body and it got popped out. But fortunately for Stanton, they were able to jump on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the time where you go to Pullman. I would anticipate this.
But nope, they're going to keep it with Wilkie. Wilkie looking to pass, still looking, running, rolls out to the right side. He's going to keep it himself and go out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. So we'll keep it at third down and 10 coming up for the Stanton offense as Wilkie walks back to the huddle with his hands on his hips, walking slow.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity getting some Wildcat. Put Pullman in there.
They're going to keep Wilkie in. His hands are on his knees. I mean, this is a purely a fatigue thing because your defense hasn't been able to stop the Sandy Creek offense. And now you continuously call your quarterback's number. Third down and 10 and a false start here coming up. So it's a false start on Stanton. Makes it third down and 15.
Becker Pullman fired up right there. Probably was looking to get the ball right there.
Well, we have yet to call his name in this second half. And through all this scoring, it's somewhat surprising that we have not called Becker Pullman's name. You mentioned it, right? He has those 2 catches for 38 yards and a touchdown. He also has those 13 carries for 69 yards to his name as well. Averaging 5.5 per carry, essentially. Third down and 15 now. Shotgun set. They'll motion Pullman out. They like to run him on these routes and look his way. They'll throw it across the middle. Pullman's able to haul it in, short of the sticks, but dives forward. He'll be a few yards short of that first down line to gain, but it makes it fourth down and very manageable at 4th down and 3.
Yeah, I would assume. I would love to see them go under center. QB sneak right here. Not too much exertion from Barrett Wilkie on a sneak.
So 4th down and 3. Ball is placed on the 23-yard line. They may call a time. They're going to call a timeout.
And that's wise right there. You call a timeout probably to give Wilkie a breath, knowing that he's probably your best option on, a 4th and 3. He's probably your best option here.
Well, and it's unfortunate for Stanton that they weren't going to be able to allow that clock to essentially run out because there was only 12 seconds on the play clock. The clock was running. There's 20 seconds left on the game clock right now. And I say that because you would have gotten the extended period or extended break with the end of the quarter on top of you being able to save one of your timeouts, but had to call a timeout, understandably so, and 44-36 is your score. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. And so, once again, Stanton with over 23 minutes of time of possession here. On 4th downs, both sides are 2 for 2 today. Stanton, this will be their 61st play from scrimmage of the game.
A stop for Sandy Creek would be huge.
Oh, it'd be massive.
Right?
The opportunity to go up 2 scores for either side. We've seen that. Number one, both sides have at one point been up by 2 scores.
Mm-hmm.
However, a fumble on each side has then allowed the other team to get back into it and eventually tie it up. Before, it was Stanton in the early stages of the game up by 2 scores. Then they fumbled. Sandy Creek was able to score 16 unanswered points and take an 8-point lead. But then before, it was Stanton had the 2-score advantage before they fumbled. So here you have it, where it's 44-36. On the 4th and 3, Wilkie lowers his shoulder. Did he get enough?
I don't know.
The near sideline official is right at the line to gain, and the official gives him the first down.
Wilkie running out the game right now.
Yeah.
Gonna have to go Wildcat.
He is gassed. He's squatting down, worn out. He might even be dinged up a little bit, as that will be the end of the third quarter. So certainly something to keep our eye on is Barrett Wilkie, on the Stanton sideline. The quarterback went off the field there on the final play of the third quarter. And with your score, the Sandy Creek Cougars 44 and the Stanton Mustangs 36 here in the Class D-1 state championship game. Nick Sainer, Chancellor Brewington with you. We'll bring you back from Memorial Stadium in just a couple of minutes on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time to start our final quarter of play from Memorial Stadium here. 44-36 in the final stanza as Sandy Creek leads by 8. Stanton does have the football. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Sandy Creek 20-yard line. So they are in the red zone here at Memorial. So Stanton, though, something to watch is Barrett Wilkie still on the sidelines here to start quarter number 4. He came off extremely slow, and it looked like he might have even been dinged up, And here's the deal. After 42 carries, I probably would be as well, at least a little bit. So Barrett Wilkie on the sideline, which means we'll probably see Becker Pullman run this offense from the Wildcat formation. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Sandy Creek leads by 8. So they'll bring one wide receiver out to the far side. Becker Pullman, is in the Wildcat. He takes the snap, keeps it himself, fresh legs. Becker Pullman dives forward, and he gets about a 4-yard gain up to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, time possession here is going to be key. It's going to be key. Looks like, is Barrett Wilkie back in the game? Nope. Yep.
He is. And that's but I was going to say this. I mean, honestly, Chancellor, you saw it from up here. You can tell that Becker Pullman has fresh legs. The burst that he kind of presented there out of the Wildcat is something we haven't seen. And not that Barrett Wilkie's looked slow these last couple of minutes, but just that initial burst of getting off the line, Becker Pullman showed it there. And now as soon as Wilkie enters the game, they run him up the middle, and he'll get a short gain of maybe 3 or 4 yards to bring up 3rd down and 2.
I guess my question now is, how many plays do you have designed for Becker Pullman, out of the Wildcat? Because, when Wilkie's not in the game, I doubt you're going to bring in your backup quarterback to get Pullman the ball.
I would also be surprised, you're going to need obviously both of those guys, Wilkie and Pullman, as the game progresses. But in the later stages of the fourth quarter, I think you've proven that through 43 carries, you still feel like Barrett Wilkie, and on his 44th carry, he gets a first down up to the 5-yard line. But that's his 44th carry. Are you feeling good running him on his 60th? And people are probably sitting at home going, that's absurd to even say. But that's where you're at right now. With if there's only 2 minutes left and you need somebody to go make a play, would you rather have Barrett Wilkie at his 50th carry or at his 62nd carry? And it's like maybe you want to run the offense with Becker Pullman right now with some fresh legs in order to give Barrett Wilkie a little bit of a breather. They'll turn, toss it. Here is Pullman. Pullman gets stood up just shy of the goal line at the 2 or 3 yard line. And that brings up second down and goal.
Yeah, I like the idea there. I mean, I guess this is what I'm talking about. I mean, how many plays do you really have schemed up in the run game for Pullman? We've only seen a couple of that pitch. We've seen the, counter with the Wildcat.
Brings up second down and goal from the 3-yard line. They'll motion Pullman, quarterback keeper, Wilkie trying to drive, reaches, and scores. Barrett Wilkie has his 5th rushing touchdown of the day, and the Stanton Mustangs pull within 2. It's 44-42.
Yeah, great score there. Kind of risky reaching that ball. I mean, you only reach on to win the game or fourth down, of course. But great job there. Was that his 45th or 46th carry?
45th.
I want to see him get to 60. I mean, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
At this point, let's just go for it. Give him the ball right here.
So Barrett Wilkie with his hands on his hips, still in the shotgun formation, and a penalty marker on the play. I think it's going to be a timeout on Stanton because it would have been a delay of game otherwise, and they don't want to move back 5 yards for this 2-point conversion play. So they'll take a timeout here in just a moment. Barrett Wilkie has 45 carries for 231 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Barrett Wilkie, the senior, 6 feet tall, 210 pounds. He's sitting there in his last game. This is the last game for both Barrett Wilkie and Becker Pullman.
I mean, this is you're not going to forget this game. You're not going to forget this game.
He came into this game, for example, for Stanton, Barrett Wilkie came into this game with 268 carries. If I can do some quick math, thanks to the calculator, 2624 divided by 268. He came into this game averaging 9.8 yards per carry and had 36 rushing touchdowns. He now has 41 rushing touchdowns on the season. And he and Becker Pullman have combined for 71 rushing touchdowns this season. That's absurd.
That is absurd.
I mean, in a good way, right? Because then you have some other guys, Hunter Robinette on this team, who we have yet to even call. Hunter Robinette has 3 touchdowns. Austin Clausen has 2. There's 3 other guys with 1 rushing touchdown. But you take Pullman and Wilkie out of this offense next year, and you wonder who are Stanton's go-to guys. You're going to replace in 71 touchdowns. Here's Wilkie. He's trying to dance away, unable to do so.
Play.
A great tackle by Connor Rempe. Rempe able to take Wilkie down in the backfield. The 2-point conversion is no good. And now we enter a very interesting part of this game. As with 9:48 to go in the fourth quarter, Sandy Creek is able to deny the 2-point conversion attempt. They will get the ball back here in just a moment, and Sandy Creek leads by 2. I say the interesting piece because if Sandy Creek is able to do what they've essentially done all half, and that's score the football, let's be honest, all game, which is score the football, they get the 2-point conversion. Guess what? This one's a 2-possession game against Stanton rather than a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away.
Yeah, Ethan Shaw, he's been playing really, really good football. Three touchdowns on the air, 2 on the ground game, along with Connor Rempe, 1 touchdown there. this Sandy Creek offense, I mean, is it a score quick situation and try to force a 3 and out?
Gosh, you got to feel like it.
Yeah.
But also, do you feel like either one of these teams is going to punt?
No.
So it's got to be a turnover on downs. It's a longer kick fielded by the return man at the 15-yard line. And while we have a break in the action, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sainer, Chancellor Brewington, back with you from Memorial Stadium, Austin Norman, in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Just a couple blocks away at 1040 O Street. Appreciate you guys tuning in on your commute home. Here as we have entered the 5 o'clock hour. And so the cool view of Memorial Stadium as the lights have started to turn on and they're starting to illuminate the field here on one more Memorial Stadium drive. All right, 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. They'll keep it with Shaw. He's able to make 2 guys miss, still dragging defenders across the 30, and he's down just shy of the first down marker at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, Shaw's a crafty runner. I've talked about his patience in the hole, but he sets up blocks well. He dips in and dips out, lets guys seals the edge for him. And he falls forward. That's one thing you don't really see much from quarterbacks, but real physical runner. He really bursts when he gets into the hole too.
Sandy Creek searching for their first state championship in school history. They're 9 minutes and 5 seconds away from achieving it. 2nd down and 1 from the 32-yard line. They'll fake the option. Now Shaw has so much running room on the left side across midfield, and he'll retreat out of bounds across the Stanton 30-yard line and is taken down at the 29.
Ethan Shaw kind of give me that Johnny Manziel feel. You know,
he wears the same number.
Kind of has the same little swag too.
He was. You're starting to see the wear and tear because he wasn't as explosive as maybe we've seen throughout the game, and that's understandable. These quarterbacks, man. Barrett Wilkie, 6 total touchdowns. Ethan Shaw, 5 total touchdowns. It's a game that's seen a lot of trips to the end zone. 44-42 your score. Quick pass out, right side. It's caught by Rempe. Rempe with a lot of running room across the 25-yard line and tackled at the 20 for a 9-yard gain. That was a quick pass that we have not seen even that sort of wrinkle from this Sandy Creek offense. Get the ball out of Shaw's hand quickly. Get it into their playmaker, Rempe, who had a big 69, or excuse me, rather it was for Rempe, a 64-yard touchdown run earlier, and he was almost broke it, but was taken down from behind after a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, Rempe's he's a little crafty player.
Yeah, 2nd down and 1 coming up from the 20-yard line. They'll send Rempe in motion from right to left. They use Rempe as a blocker, keep it with the quarterback Shaw, and Shaw gets enough for the 1st down after a 3-yard gain. There's so many wrinkles that you can do with something like that, right? Right, Chancellor, where you can either do a jet toss to Rempe and get him out in space. You can use him as a blocker like they did there, or you can run the traditional speed option because they had a running back to the left of Shaw that was also running. I mean, there's so many different, you can shovel pass off of it. We saw that earlier.
And you can keep him in motion and do a play action pass, him go into like the, little wheel route.
There's so many options and wrinkles that the defense has to be worried about off of something like that. So here we are, 7:44 to go in the 4th quarter. Snap back, Shaw looking to pass, dancing around, getting pressure from behind, and Shaw goes down. The sack made on the play by number 53, Gatlin Davidson. The junior defensive lineman makes the sack. It's a loss of 2 yards on the play, and it's 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, nice little spin move on the D-line rush right there.
As Shaw was getting chased down from behind, had to evade the pocket, and Davidson came down, grabbed him from behind, and took him down to make it 2nd down and 12. The ball is on the 19-yard line. Stanton needs a stop in the worst way. They trail by 2 with less than 7 minutes in the game. Shaw cuts back upfield. Nice gain on 2nd down. He gets about half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up in just a moment. So just like that, if you're for Sandy Creek, you're sitting there as head coach Andrew Kuda, 2nd down and 12. What's priority number one? Probably getting into 3rd and manageable. Now you can take it chunk by chunk, sit here 3rd and 6. Okay, let's get another chunk. If we need to make this 4-down territory, which we know they will, then you're sitting there saying, okay, let's make it 4th and 3 or better, or even get the 1st down here on 3rd down, obviously.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too greedy here. I would get this in chunk. They're split out right here. Look like they're throwing.
Empty shotgun set. Shaw throws across the middle. It's tipped and intercepted. Stanton going the other way across the 15-yard line. And after that one should have been hauled in, it was deflected off the receiver. It wasn't a bad throw by Shaw. However, it was tipped off the receiver's mitts and picked off by Stanton.
Yeah, that was a good throw. Maybe a tad bit behind him, but definitely a catchable ball. Definitely a catchable ball by Shaw. Great job being alert for the DBs playing that tip drill.
It fell right into the lap of number 32, Jordan Clausen, the senior defensive back who lost Rempe in coverage. He was tailing him a couple of steps behind the wide receiver. It went through the hands and into the lap of Clausen. So now here is Barrett Wilkie on 1st down with Stanton trailing by 2. He gets a gain of 3 yards, maybe 4, up to the 20-yard line.
I know compliance rules, but I would let Barrett Wilkie get into the new training facility.
100%.
And use some of the
whirlpool.
Yeah, whirlpool therapy boots, everything.
That is Wilkie's 46th carry of the day. 2nd down and 6 coming from the 20-yard line, 5:58 to play. Wilkie keeps it himself, bounces out right side, trying to get to the edge, able to do so, tiptoes the sideline across the 30-yard line, and it's a 1st down on the nice gain of 10 yards by Barrett Wilkie, and that'll move the chains for the Stanton offense.
Yeah, if you're the Stanton offense, I would definitely tell the guys, man, be careful with the time possession. Just have a game plan, whether you're trying to score quick or whatever the game plan is, stick to it.
And Sandy Creek does throw the football a little bit better than Stanton statistically coming into this one, right? Ethan Shaw's thrown more passes as Wilkie will keep it himself here for the Mustangs offense, gets another gain of 6 yards or so, as that is his 48th carry of the game. But as I was going to say is, so it's yes, you want to score, and I'm not saying it's this weird conversation that I always go back and forth with, Chancellor, of like, do you want to score quick or do you want to try to milk some of the clock so you don't give Sandy Creek so much time to work with?
Yeah, I would take as much time as possible right here.
2nd down and 4. This is going to be Becker Pullman. Becker Pullman on the carry. He's immediately,
Ethan Shaw?
Yeah, it's immediately stuffed there by Ethan Shaw defensively.
Man, I absolutely love 8-man football when the quarterbacks play both the ways. I mean, you see real football players competing out there. He's scraping over top. Look at that near shoulder, near leg. That's good technique right there.
3rd down and 4 coming up for the Stanton offense. I would imagine Barrett Wilkie gets the handoff or gets the ball. And he does. He's going to keep it himself. Try to barrel his way forward. He will be short of the line to gain. He needed 4 yards. He got about 3. He's going to be marked down just shy of midfield. They need to get to the 39-yard line of Sandy Creek. The ball is placed at the 40.
I like the pace of this drive.
Yeah. Playing fast, not in a hurry. 4th down and inches coming up. The ball is directly at midfield of this 80-yard field, and they need to get 1 yard. Wilkie under center. They'll motion Poland. Wilkie keeps it himself, bounces outside. Great defensive play by Sandy Creek. And guess who? Connor Rempe. Rempe seals the edge as Barrett Wilkie tried to get outside, unable to do so. It's a turnover on downs. And the interception does not come back to bite Sandy Creek as they force a turnover on downs and take over 1st and 10 at the Stanton 39-yard line with 4:07 to play in the ball game.
I mean, Nick, you would think that they would just sneak it with Wilkie right there.
Why bounce outside?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Barrett Wilkie with 49 carries on the day, 248 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Unable to get the 1 yard that they needed on fourth down, and now Sandy Creek will take over. Here's Shaw running right side, and guess who makes the tackle? That is Becker Pullman, as he was able to cut off Ethan Shaw after a short gain of maybe 1 yard. No, they're going to mark it for a loss of 1. Wow, what a spot. Second down and 11 coming up from midfield at the 40-yard line, 3:47 to play. And this is where we talked about it, those timeouts with Stanton. They only have 1 remaining. So there's a way here to where if you're Sandy Creek, you can essentially end this one. Because, man, a first down here, a couple of first downs, you got some room to work with. If you get some first downs and force Stanton to burn that final timeout and be smart with the clock, you're looking at your first ever state championship, as Shaw almost broke it for a big gain. He was able to get a nice gain of 9 yards or so up to the 31-yard line, brings up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, if you're Sandy Creek, no rush right here. I would be hiking, every ball underneath the 5-second mark, around 6 seconds. Make sure you time your motions up. No procedural things. You don't want to take a delay game at all.
It's 44-42. Sandy Creek on top of the Stanton Mustangs. Stanton trying to go for back-to-back Class D-1 state championships, while Sandy Creek trying to find and capture their first ever state championship. As it's going to be an empty shotgun set. Shaw by himself. Low snap, fumbled it, able to pick it up, able to shed 1 tackler, but then gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A nice tackle, a big physical tackle, as Shaw is slow to get up.
By Barrett Wilkie. Oh, get this brother an ice bath.
4th down and 3. 2:17 to play in the fourth quarter. Chancellor, man, this is intense.
Yeah.
Like you can feel the intensity here. Both sides trying to bow up. Sandy Creek was able to get a turnover on downs.
Both stands standing up. This is not a sitting atmosphere right now.
And here's what Sandy Creek's going to do. They're going to call a timeout as soon as the play clock gets down to 1 second. So before this 4th and 3 snap, Sandy Creek will utilize their first timeout of the second half. 44-42, your score. Sandy Creek on top by 2 here in the late stages of the fourth quarter. 1:54 to play. Sandy Creek's going to be going for this one with 4th and 3 on deck. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with the loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So out of the Sandy Creek timeout, it'll be 4th down and 3. The ball is placed on the Stanton 32-yard line. Sandy Creek has possession of the football. If you're just now joining us, just got in your car after work, man, you've missed a good one. As it's 44-42, Sandy Creek ready to go for it. The quarterback, Shaw, has 161 yards rushing, 2 scores with 3 passing touchdowns as well. He'll hesitate, reset.
You got to think it's going right to Shaw.
7 seconds on the play clock. They'll keep it with Shaw on the left side. Ethan Shaw has the first down and more inside the 25-yard line. Move the chains. It's a first down for the Sandy Creek offense. With 1:49 to play in the fourth quarter, and now this is where that conversation starts of one more first down will essentially do it for the Sandy Creek squad. The Cougars have 2 timeouts remaining. The defensive team, Stanton, has just 1 timeout remaining. And here you have it, first down and 10 as the clock starts to move. 10 seconds on the play clock as Sandy Creek breaks the huddle. They get to the line with 5 on the play clock. 3, 2, 1. They snap it. Shaw runs left side. Shaw lowers the helmet and gets 5 yards inside the 20-yard line down at the 15.
Great physical run by Shaw. You got to, I mean, if you're did they call a timeout right there?
They did. So,
so
Stanton elects to call their final timeout, 2nd down and 5. So, in a way, you can think here that Stanton needs to hold Sandy Creek to less than 5 yards in their next 3 plays. A team that running the football, Sandy Creek is averaging 8.5 yards per attempt as a team. And a lot of it's been Ethan Shaw. Still, I mean, Chancellor, this gives us a chance to talk about both quarterbacks because we're seeing Ethan Shaw take over this game, especially when it matters most in the fourth quarter. But the toughness and the grit of Barrett Wilkie on the other side for Stanton, he's playing DB right now. But what he's done offensively too, for the folks that just now joined us, 49 carries by Barrett Wilkie, the Stanton quarterback, for 248 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. He's also added a passing touchdown. So Stanton's quarterback, Barrett Wilkie, 6 total touchdowns. Sandy Creek's QB, Ethan Shaw, has 5 total touchdowns.
Win or lose, great performance by Barrett Wilkie, outstanding performance.
And it looks like Sandy Creek is in victory formation.
Have enough time? Yep.
They do. So Sandy Creek is going to be able to hold on and win this one. As 40 seconds is on the play clock, there's 1:02 remaining in the fourth quarter. They'll be able to take this one all the way down to, I would say about 33 seconds. They would probably call a timeout, I would imagine. They'll call a timeout with 1 second on the play clock, or they'll snap it with 1 second on the play clock. And looks like they're going to snap it with 1 on the play clock. So they'll snap it with 1 on the play clock, take a knee, and that will do it. For the first time in school history, the Sandy Creek Cougars finish a 13-0 season as the Class D-1 state champions. Stanton was going for back-to-back titles, unable to accomplish the feat as they fall 44-42. Sandy Creek, your 2024 Class D1 state champions. Congrats to head coach Andrew Kuda and the rest of the Sandy Creek Cougars with a 44-42 victory. Chancellor, my man, we saw some insane quarterback play here in this one. Way different ball game than the D2 title game. Final thoughts on this?
Yeah, final thoughts. I mean, both quarterbacks came to play. They were the bulk of each, not only offense, but defense as well. We saw Barrett Wilkie, 49 carries, 248 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 touchdown through the air, but also played a great game defensively. And Ethan Shaw, you saw why he was probably the most explosive player on the field, and probably the most, he just had a different burst to him.
Yeah,
he just had a different burst to him, and great performance by both teams. It was a fun game to watch.
For sure. As once again, your final score in the Class D1 state championship game, the Sandy Creek Cougars, for the first time in school history, your Class D1 state champions with a 44-42 victory over the Stanton Mustangs. That'll do it for us here in game 2 of the day. We will have a third and final game later tonight, 7:15 p.m. your kickoff time for the Class A state championship between the Omaha West Side Warriors and the Millard South Patriots. That's sure to be a good one, as Chancellor will join me once again tomorrow morning for Class C2 action at 10:15. But for now, for Chancellor Brewington, Nick Sainert saying so long. We'll send it back to Austin and DP back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's